What level in your spine did this fracture occur?
7th.
Is there any impingement of your spinal cord? And what do you mean at 7? C7, T7, L7?
C7.
So 5 and 6, he put a screw in.
Why?
The 7th was severed.
The 7th was severed.
So the 2 above.
So the 2 above and the 2 below, he put screws in.
So did he? Okay, he fused them, so to speak.
Fused them, yeah.
Do you now have a plate or something as a result of this, or what did they screw together?
A bunch of screws.
Pins.
I got a bunch of screws. I don't understand it. It feels like cardboard in my back, but you know.
So he put the two. He took the 2 vertebrae below and the 2 above.
Right.
And stabilized the broken one.
Right. Because otherwise, if I fall, it would have been crushed. My, and then I would have had to.
Now, are you limited the rest of your life? Are you limited?
Well, yeah, I can't do like what I used to do.
How old are you, ma'am?
I'm 66. She shouldn't have worked on me, is what I'm...
Well, but that's what I'm wondering. What is the malpractice part?
Here's the deal, Tom. All malpractice is viewed in light of what the applicable standard of care was for whatever the doctor was doing, be it a surgery, be it a chiropractor, be it an accountant, be it, any professional. You have to compare what they did to what they should have done under the applicable standard of care. And fortunately, I think probably in the bigger picture is that they don't just take my word for it. So me, the mean old lawyer, doesn't get to say what I think the standard of care is. We have to rely on other doctors that have the same or similar, expertise and training and whatnot. And in Colorado specifically, we have to have another expert of the same credentials that's willing to go on record up front in the very beginning and say that what that other doctor did was in fact a deviation from the standard of care.
Yeah, so the mere fact that it was broken, John, I do have to take a break in between here, but it's very important. The mere fact that it was broken does not mean it was negligent.
That's the crucial thing, Tom, is that just because your surgeon will swear up and down that it was broken doesn't mean that he even can offer an opinion that what the chiropractor did actually caused that condition. That's critically important.
Unless she never had a problem beforehand ever and now does. So we'll come back to that, okay? That's very important.
This report is brought to you by Lifeline.
Some slowing on northbound I-25 on the north end, starting at about 120. It doesn't let up until you get north of Northwest Parkway, so just be aware of that. Also, watch out for very slow traffic on westbound I-270 approaching Vasquez. Same with westbound I-70 approaching Vasquez as well. Southbound I-25 heavy just south of the I-70 interchange, traveling down towards Colfax. Northbound I-25 a bit slow coming out of the Tech Center, starting at about Bellevue. Doesn't let up till you get north of Yale. The weather forecast, mostly cloudy today, cooler, chance of rain showers this afternoon, and a high of only 75. Right now, mostly cloudy and 64. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
With identity theft, what you can't see can hurt you. But LifeLock can actually see threats to your identity, stuff you can miss by just monitoring your credit. If something happens, U.S.-based specialists can work to fix it. Go to LifeLock.com. Use promo code RISK, save 10%.
All right, everybody in the car, let's go.
What are we going to do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not that far, sweetie.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already?
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My kids, like many kids, need braces. When I heard about the new orthodontics, it was crazy good. Do you know most crooked teeth are formed by tongue placement? Let me tell you what Dr. Kent Lawson is pioneering for kids. Let me tell you what Dr. Kent Lawson is pioneering for kids. They can wear special mouthpieces that gradually can expand their palate and straighten their teeth from very, very young, before they get their permanent teeth. And what happens when it's time time for braces, it's cut in half or a third of the time they need them. Or in some cases, they don't need braces at all. They never have to worry about surgeries, spacers, expanders. It's really cool. He has a special office for children in Lone Tree, near the light rail station, near Park Meadows. It's called NEO, New Early Orthodontics, NEO, N-E-O. Look them up, neo-smiles.com, neo-smiles.com, or call this number, 303-690-0400. 303-690-0400. Look for Aurora Orthodontics on my referral list at referrallist.com.
For most with knee arthritis, finding the correct treatment with an acceptable outcome is a major issue, and for many months of grueling therapy
and accommodating. Multifocal makes sense. Multifocal lenses focus light from different distances on the retina simultaneously. Accommodating lenses mimic the movement of the eye's natural lens, which allows the eye to switch focus between different distances.
That would be even better, actually.
Other treatments may have failed because doctors are not using digital imaging to miss the joint 30% of the time. So if you tried Supart Invis or Flexa or Hyalgan without results, this may be the reason. Call 800-578-KNEE. If you have arthritis in your knee, call our Osteo Relief Institute, 800-578-KNEE.
It is also important to discuss your goals following the procedure to ensure your expectations are
affordable interest mortgage. Pay off your home in half the time without changing one penny of your spending habits. Need access to your equity for cash out to pay off debt? Make that long-needed home improvement? Or just take that vacation. Take advantage of Ames, the All About You event, where you'll receive $300 gift cards for any clothesline. Use at Home Depot, Bed Bath & Beyond, or Lowe's. And the opportunity for $1,000 cash. 3 days in Breckenridge, or a new 55-inch flat screen. Call 720-895-0500 for details. If you are tired of paying mortgage insurance, stop. Loans to 95% loan to value with no MI. Looking at buying that new home? Paperless loan approvals with low rates to 97% loan to value and quick closes. Take AIM 720-895-0500. Find out why more Coloradans every day choose AIM.
Oh man, here's another Lazy Days complaint. I can't fucking believe it. Another Lazy Days complaint.
And the opportunity for another 1,000. Call for details. 720-895-0500. Regulated by DOR and MLS 298191. Equal credit.
I think it's that Cincinnati.
Go to AdvancedTaxSolutions.com.
Honest analysis in the afternoon.
The truth does not matter.
From Michael Brown.
So fake news matters? Yes, fake news matters because fake news is just a new word for propaganda.
Today at 4.
Got it?
On 630 KHOW.
I'm told there's no sound on YouTube or Facebook. We got it.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Barbara, we heard your complaint. I want to go to John Fuller, Fuller Law, so he can get back to work. He is a personal injury attorney, and I want to address this. This is a very difficult thing, but here's what I want to ask you, John. If he or she, the chiropractor, took an x-ray, saw no major abnormalities, and did an adjustment, and let's say during the adjustment one of the vertebrae cracked, would that be a negligent, or would not even negligent? Would the chiropractor be liable for that?
Maybe. That would be fairly compelling evidence that it didn't exist before, meaning that, you know, if it wasn't there before and it is after, we can all kind of make the connection that it might have been caused by that chiropractor's actions. However, that alone does not prove that it was negligent, okay? Even with the application of best practices and the applicable standard of care, sometimes a bad outcome still happens. And so what you have to find is not just the bad outcome. In every malpractice case, you have to find that deviation from the standard of care. Either this chiropractor failed to appreciate the sensitive nature of this patient, or some predisposition.
She was just rough or something,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Well,
okay,
what else if she had very bad osteoporosis? So hold on, Barbara made a comment. Barbara, you made a comment she should not have worked on you. Why? Why did you make that comment?
Because I have she told me even I have osteoporosis. And that's still brown.
Okay, so she told you that. Is it noted in your medical record with her?
I'm not sure. Plus I'm on oxygen.
Okay, but I don't know if that means you shouldn't be worked on. So, John, the fact, let's say if she does have osteoarthritis, or porosis, I mean, osteoporosis, which is different, would that be a reason to call her negligent, the chiropractor?
You know, you'd have to speak to a chiropractor about that, but
right.
I wouldn't think that that'd be an impediment to receiving chiropractic adjustments, because by their definition, chiropractors are just moving around the bones and trying to realign them with the natural, placement in the body. They're not technically breaking bones per se. And it's very, very, very unusual for somebody to get a broken bone in the course of a chiropractic manipulation. Not saying it's never happened, it's just incredibly unusual. So I don't know whether the presence of that broken bone by itself would satisfy a deviation from the standard of care. I would suspect probably not.
So you're saying it's possibly not actionable at all.
I'm saying that there's a number of different areas of her claims that are going to be challenging for any attorney to bring. The first place that somebody would start would be to get another chiropractic expert on board that says that absolutely she was not a candidate. She should have been excluded from
based on her X-ray.
Based on the X-ray.
Now, Barbara, she did take an X-ray, right?
Yep, she took one before.
Okay. And did she take one after?
Yes.
She did.
Well, have you gotten copies of those?
Because I was in so much pain.
Well, did you get copies of those?
Yeah, but one of the...
Yeah, but she gave me a chip, but I didn't get that back from one of the lawyers.
Okay, but you can go to the lawyer and get it, right?
And
you've already been talking to attorneys then, right, ma'am?
Yeah, she has been talking to attorneys, I guess.
What are the attorneys telling you?
They can't do it.
Why?
It's too hard because we're on a fixed income, so I need a lawyer that will do it on consignment.
Well, most of them do it on contingency if they think they have a case.
Right, and they won't do it.
I don't think her income has anything to do with it. If they think the case is there, they're going to take it regardless.
Well, it does have a little to do with the economic losses.
So some attorneys...
Yeah, bills are like $500,000.
Yeah, so
I had to go to rehab and,
Let me give you some inside baseball here.
Yeah.
When attorneys when attorneys are presented with a valid case that has merit and has a degree of likelihood of success,
yes.
Okay, I don't care how busy they are or what their trial schedule is, they're going to take the case if they think it has merit and it's going to be, of value. When attorneys say, we're not really taking new cases right now, or we'd only do this one on an hourly fee basis, or all those kind of excuses to pass the buck off on somebody else. Most of the time what the attorneys are saying is, without saying it, man, we just don't think you have a viable case.
Right.
And that's sad, but that's the reality of what they're saying. And it sounds like you've got, some wonderful elements. You've got big damages, and you have before and after x-rays, and you've got all of that. But what may be missing, and I don't know for sure, but what may be missing is that we really don't have a deviation from the standard of care. And put differently, that means we have a bad outcome, but we really don't have something that was done improperly that we can point at, or more importantly, prove in court.
Thank you. John Fuller is straight talk. I love John Fuller for this, for personal injuries. You can reach him for any questions on personal injury. Always, initial consultations are complimentary, and if he takes your case, it is on contingency, and he does believe in it. 303-597-4500. Of course, he mostly takes automobile cases, motor vehicle cases. Those are much easier, much less of a burden of proof than with a malpractice. But he takes all kinds of personal injury. 303-597-4500. Now, we have a great follow-up on DirecTV. This woman ordered DirecTV, and she hated it after a couple days.
She couldn't get the Golden Girls.
That's what we teased her about. And what happened, Bertha, after you called us? What happened?
Well, yesterday I had a call when I was at, and hi, Tom, and I had a call, and I could not get, we finally got the number to call back, so I called back this morning. He had a question to ask me about sending their equipment back to them. But he said everything had been wiped out. I owe nothing.
That is wonderful.
And I wanted to call and thank you and your crew, because without you, I wouldn't have got it.
Thank you very much for letting us know, Bertha. We appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate it more than you'll ever know.
Well, thank you. Thanks for calling. We have more coming up.
So you did all the inventory. Oh, you got to switch one thing around. Okay, go. I did Simply Floors because they didn't have their new spots on the log instead of Genesis. So, however you want to do it.
I got it.
Usually they would be done on Thursday.
Hey man,
What's up?
So I think you jinxed me when you said, "Hey, I remembered everything." I did too now.
You did, huh?
Yep, I heard her, and she was talking, and then they tell me to move, and I mean, it didn't hurt her or anything, but I was.
You were alert the whole time.
Not alert. Not alert. I was like, ouch.
Yeah, you're still like fucked up.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it was not because I felt it clamping my ass. I said, "Hey man, I thought I was going to be out for this."
Right.
And they said, "Well, okay," and then I mean, it wasn't uncomfortable because obviously with my eye clamp and stuff, I would have never just laid there if I wasn't on.
Yeah.
But it was more so than before. Before it was like I literally got wheeled in and wheeled out.
And yeah, you don't remember anything.
Right.
Okay.
But this, I don't think he gave me enough first ed. But
that's still really good.
Mark, Genesis is on Wednesday anyway, so you did one yesterday, just an extra then, because you did everyone else.
I didn't do Genesis.
Yeah, it's not scheduled for Tuesdays. It's scheduled for Wednesday.
Oh, it's scheduled for Wednesday. Oh, I fucked up.
So, no, I don't care.
No. Here's who I did yesterday.
Okay.
I did Wink and Wink.
Okay, got it.
I looked at Monday, I think.
That's right.
I did Frank, Wink and Wink, Simply Floors.
Okay.
And then
not one clear choice.
One clear choice.
Okay. All right, fine.
So all I did was move one.
You just didn't do approval rehearse, so I'll do that.
Because I was looking at Monday.
Got it. So
how's the eye today?
Milky. Was yours milky the next day?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. It's a little milky. It's almost like brighter than this.
You know what? It takes a minute for the dilation. My dilation didn't go away for about 2 days. So my eye still had. If you want to do a quick video, just say, hey, this is the next day.
Oh, yeah.
I'm already back at it.
Let's do it.
That's a pretty good idea.
Okay, ready? And then if you give me this, I'll edit it together really nice.
Okay, I did some drone footage of the whole building.
Okay, cool.
That's really cool.
All right, ready? Well, it's the next day. I'm out of surgery. My eye is fine. Now, it's not perfectly focused yet. It takes a few days. It's a little milky, but I'm going for a follow-up today, and then I'll report back.
Lazara was hoping he might be able to get
just
some
get
new spots.
some shots of me on the air, and then I'll dissolve that into it.
Okay.
Okay, Lazara wants what?
New spots.
Okay.
You know what you should do on that? Get one of him flying in a few days. Or whenever you go flying, get one for the video.
That would be
Aren't you? I could get one on Friday, right?
That would be good. As soon as I'm back.
Right.
Two things. Do you still want me to get Dean for Barbara, or are you done with her? He hasn't answered me.
Okay, if he doesn't answer, then we're not going to.
Are you done with her?
I'd like to kiss her off the nice way rather than just not go.
And then,
well, I don't know. We should. I think you ought to tell her at this point.
Call Ben and Ellen?
Yes.
Okay. And then line 3 called yesterday about Matthew's fine watches. This Daphne talked to him, and I highlighted what they wanted said and what they said to Daphne.
I was going to try to give them a call. They weren't
were they not good people?
They're fine.
They're
it's
really
just a hothead customer, according to Matthews. So I don't know.
Before that, let me try to give
about this
Scott a call, the owner.
Going to go call now?
Yeah.
But you know what? They hold value.
$9.99 per month. Now you can get 10% off. Go to lifelock.com and use promo code LifeLock.
Did you just say 10% off of just $9.99?
I did.
Okay, now I've seen everything.
LifeLock. More detection, more protection.
Coloradans 62 and older, are you not feeling as financially secure as you'd like to? Is cash flow tight? Are you retiring or experiencing a life change? And do you own your own home? Then consider a reverse mortgage from American Financing. Reverse mortgages are loans that pay you monthly by using the equity in your home. They also protect your spouse from possibly losing your home if you pass away, and FHA ensures that you never owe more than your house is worth. Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky, and here are the facts. You benefit immediately from no monthly monthly mortgage payments, and you have access to tax-free money, all while owning your home. That's right, you still own your home, but now have access to your equity when you need it most. With a reverse mortgage from American Financing, you can feel confident about living your golden years with financial comfort and security. Their mortgage consultants are salary-based, so conversations are simple, straightforward, and honest. Call American Financing today at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Sean Hannity, today at 1 on Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Yes, we're here on the radio a day after getting my lens, and I'm feeling great. It's just in and out, basically. I slept off the anesthesia, and now back on the radio. And I thank the people at Icon. That's a great system they have there. So, let's do a follow-up on this and just do away with this chiropractic problem. I don't mean do away with it, but I mean end it. John Fuller feels, look, if you've talked to attorneys and they won't take the case, it's probably because there's not a clear connection, nor is there proof or evidence pointing to the standard of care being substandard. I'm going to let John speak quickly. He's the husband. And then we will just basically refer this to one of our malpractice attorneys and see what they say. John, what did you want to add to the problem? I think we heard it all, and there is no doubt in my mind that your wife was traumatized by the chiropractor, and even if her vertebrae was broken, was it negligent? We don't know. Now, if she was extra rough with her and all of that, that might be something, but I think the attorneys you've spoken to so far don't think you have a case. What do you have to say, John?
Well, I think Barbara was a little intimidated. She should have stated that every doctor and nurse that we talked to said any chiropractor that had been around for at least a few years would know you never mess with someone that's under a doctor's care, especially for COPD. She's on oxygen 24/7. We don't want,
But nothing happened to her COPD.
No, the girl that the chiropractor talked her into having an adjustment, so she could justify giving her massages for $20.
Yeah, but John, here's what I'm asking. Here's what I'm saying. We have to find some negligence here, and what you're saying is all the doctors and nurses you've talked to said that chiropractor should have never worked on her. Okay, so you need to ask them if they would sign an affidavit saying it was malpractice to do it. Okay, and then call us back.
Okay, the MRI shows that it happened, and it happened.
And John, you understand. Sometimes, really, and I think it's because we're on the radio and not speaking face to face. Because I know that people are not stupid. You know what I'm saying about that. It doesn't. You don't have to prove it was done. Let's just, for argument's sake, say she did break the vertebrae. But what did she do to break it? Was she rough? Was it a patient she should have worked on? You're going too far to prove that the vertebrae was cracked. What you have to prove is that the chiropractor should have known better and not worked on your wife or used excessive force that caused it to break. That is the issue. The issue is not necessarily that it happened, but it happened because the chiropractor did something wrong. So don't keep telling me about the vertebrae being broken. Tell me what the chiropractor did wrong, and have a doctor say they did it wrong. Have another chiropractor say, if I saw this x-ray, I would have never given her an adjustment. You got to go in with the x-ray from before the treatment that chiropractor took, and then you have to have another chiropractor say, based on that x-ray and the looks of your wife, I would have never worked on her. That is what gets you to the next step.
You know, what it makes me think of is the eggshell theory. John's talked about that a lot. You take your victims as you find them. And this guy could have, I think he should call Bendinelli and see if they have something. I mean, that's what he specializes in.
Yeah, so we're going to refer you to an attorney. John, we're not telling you you don't have a case. We're telling you that you have to go through the next steps. You have to do that. But know this. If an attorney does not take the case, there is a reason for that. And the reason is it's too difficult to prove.
Okay.
So the next step, you go to this attorney we give you, Marco Bendinelli, then you also talk to these doctors, not just MDs, but you need to talk to a chiropractor, show them the x-ray, let them look at your wife, and they must say something like this: wow, if I had seen this x-ray and looked at your wife, I would have never attempted to adjust her. That shows you that that other chiropractor went below the standard of care. So that's what we have to do.
And one of the reasons they're so hard is the attorney, because these folks don't have any money. Like a lot of people, when they go into a lawsuit, the attorney's fronting tens of thousands of dollars in some cases.
That's exactly right. Now, let's talk to Rick. Rick, go ahead, Rick. We have a statement here from the jewelry shop or the watch repair shop. Tell us what happened.
I took in a watch for initial repair and approval for $75. They called me back, said it needed additional repairs of $40, and I approved it over the phone. After doing so, I called back and I kind of questioned why it wouldn't have been put in the original if they were going to be opening up a watch, compromising any kind of seals. And we proceeded to go back and forth and argue.
So in other words, after you approved the 40, you kind of hemmed a little and thought, hey, wait a minute, why did he charge me an extra 40?
Exactly. So we went back and forth, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to argue. I approved it, fix it, I want my watch, and I hung up. So
okay.
He called back and said, come and get your watch, I'm not going to fix it.
And what? And he's not going to charge you?
I don't know. I didn't get that far.
Well, he shouldn't.
Didn't want to argue with me again, and I don't know what he's done to the watch.
Here's what he said. Here's what he said about you. Spoke with Scott. Hold on. No, is this who's this statement by? Who's this statement by?
Well, Daphne spoke with the owner yesterday, and those are Daphne's
Is Scott
notes.
Matthew the owner?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Now, I thought this was a statement from the owner. It's not. It's from Daphne, who spoke to the owner.
Yes, and put the quotes in there.
Now I understand.
Okay.
Thank you. Spoke with Scott, the owner, about Rick and the watch incident. Scott said, I have dealt with hotheads in this business from time to time and learned long ago it's best just to cut them loose. We try our best to keep people happy, and we did try our best with Rick. Now, the owner seemed calm, and after hearing what Rick said on the air, he said, you know, I just don't want to deal with him, basically. So he said that Rick hung up, and Scott called him back, and Rick answered the phone and said, this better not be Matthew's watches. You better be fixing my watch and not calling me on the phone. So basically, they just want you to pick up your watch. You're not going to be charged.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know what they've done to it.
Daphne was supposed to figure out, too, what's been done to it. I mean, is it in pieces? Is it put back together?
Dan, what's going on?
Okay, good.
He'll fix it.
Listen, here's what I wanted done.
So he'll fix it
I
or
wanted the
not?
two hotheads to get together and figure it out. So Dan just talked to him. What's going to happen?
Yeah. Why? Is Scott Matthew a hothead?
No, absolutely not. Very level-headed.
Well, okay, but go ahead, Dan.
Everybody can be a hothead. I mean, I agree that I probably got a little turd.
Yeah, we're on the same page. What did he say,
we just want to help, so let's just
So
help.
he said if you call him up...
Hothead, and it's everybody has a certain...
Yeah, but
Oh, come on, Mike. I mean, geez,
This is Rick.
Rick. I mean, just talking with a guy, Scott, he's a very nice guy.
Okay.
Right, but I meant, come on.
Here's the deal, though. Here's what confuses me about you, Rick. You said that you approved the 40 and then called back.
Yes.
So I don't understand that part.
Well, here's what he's saying. Whether it's right or not, basically they tore apart the watch. This kind of watch goes to 600 feet or 635
Right, they tore
feet.
apart.
They tore it apart. There's a seal. After they fixed it, put it all back together, they water tested it. It did not pass the water test, so they called him to do the seal. His contention is, well, my God, it's a diving watch. Why wouldn't they do the seal the second they crack it? But it took them a little bit to
In other words,
figure that out.
why wouldn't they include that in the original estimate?
Instead of having to tear it all apart again.
So it's a seal in the crown, so the little winding mechanism, that's where it's at. And it's not always goes bad and stuff. They got to do the pressure test.
Okay, so in other words, they don't always have to replace
Exactly.
it. Correct. Okay, so
what did he say, though, Dan? Let's get to it.
So, I mean, he said that it was nothing about the money or anything like that. He said he'd do it. It's just that Rick was, I mean, he just was an ass.
That's what he said. So, listen, you guys have bad blood, Rick. He said pick up the watch. Is the watch fixed or not? That's the point.
No.
No, but hold on. He's saying he'll do it now if Rick calls him.
Right, calls him. Says, hey, let's put our bygones by
Yeah, Rick, just call him up. It's going to be the original 40 plus whatever, and it's going to be done.
So it's up to you, Rick. It's up to you. If you call him and tell him to fix it, he'll fix it. If you don't want it fixed, just go pick it up. It's up to you.
No, I want him to fix it.
So give him he wants to talk to you. He wants to talk to you, okay? I mean, I don't know what the big deal is, but call him and see what he says.
I think it's worked out. Just call him up, get it fixed.
Yeah, I think he's willing to fix it. We have more coming right up.
What's the name of that watch company?
Matthews Fine Watches.
Then, okay, well, write it down because I want to say something nice about it.
Okay, that's what it is, Matthews Fine Watches, right there.
Okay, just keep it there.
No, this guy's a nice guy.
Well, I know, but he could have.
The guy hung up on him, he called him back, and he...
But the customer's always right.
No, it's not.
Always right. And especially if they pay by Bitcoin.
And then when he called him back up, the guy says, this better not be Matthews watches and stuff. He's an ass. This is one of those guys I'm sure you have tons of them on Goodyear. And then he, like I say, he got on to him about, he knew more about the watch than Scott does. That, you know, you should have given him all this right at the beginning. And they worked overtime to try to get it done. They were going to work overtime and got it done by the 20th, which he said he needed it by.
Bitcoin. You see now, I don't know what it's at now, but holy shit, dude. It fucking jumped big time.
They're going to bring the unit on Friday. The RV.
Oh, sweet. Did you see that other complaint we got?
No.
Holy shit, listen to this one. Let me find it.
So I'm going to call up Lazy Days, and I'm going to call up the lawyers and tell them what we're going to do. We're going to be putting it on the air.
Here it is, live email. Randy. My wife bought a 2016 camper. Lazy Days earlier this year. We went to camping the week after. The refrigerator didn't work at all. We contacted Lazy Days about fixing us. They told us they were at least 6 weeks out. You can't camp without a refrigerator. Right. 6 weeks out for any repairs. After that, we could not get back to them on the phone or talk to them. We ended up taking it to Pueblo, to a different place to get the new refrigerator. We weren't, well, who wasn't very good either. We've tried to contact the manager at Lazy Days to no avail.
Oh, she doesn't return phone calls.
Yeah, she's a...
Sarah.
Ah.
So I'm going to start leaving voicemails and stuff with them, and emails and stuff.
I told this Lazy Days, I emailed him back to call in.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
These ones, this one, the new one. The freaking no one, Mom.
So the guy's going to do the wash. You don't know if you heard that, Suzanne.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, I have Al on who looked at Jim Weiss's estimate. I have Jim on, and then I have the caller on, Janelle. She really wants to have her say. She's like, it's not about the bill.
Here's what she said. She goes,
the Auto Trust Act.
I understand what she's saying. Listen to what she said. He told me the whole job was going to be $2,500. Now the whole job is $4,500. I would have never have done it knowing that it was $4,500.
15-year-old car.
15-year-old piece of shit.
But here's the estimate for $3,000. That's Jim's estimate.
Well, if he told her 3, why are we at $4,500?
I don't know, but Al says...
Because she paid this machine shop directly. That's the difference.
Does that estimate have the machine shop in it?
That is a good deal for all the work they've done.
Yeah, but Al doesn't understand that they didn't. She also paid for the head.
No, the machine shop is in this.
See, there's the fucking problem then.
Okay.
Freaking problem, I'm sorry.
It says here, remove head, repair as needed, install new. So that's in here.
And how much is the total? What's the total of the estimate?
It says here, initial estimate is $2,500 plus head work at machine shop. Customer authorized work to proceed. Customer picked up head and machining work. Customer acknowledged the extra labor needed and authorized work.
I don't know what to make of that. That's pretty.
Oh wait, he's saying it's this plus the machine work. That's what he's saying. Look at that, what he said.
Live. He's hoping to come on for the estimate and give his alignment special.
Thanks.
Oh, he's got alignment special? Damn it.
It works fast and penetrates deep to soothe my tired muscles and joints.
Did she ever send us one?
I'll tell you one thing, I have no idea.
But that doesn't apparently include machine work, does it? Or does it?
It works fast. The long run is soothing my tired muscles and joints.
Does this mean? Approval reverse mortgage. If you're looking for a reverse mortgage,
it is a very tricky instrument. Now, it's money you live off of, you don't pay back, and it's based on the amount of equity if you're 62 or older. But listen, it's not for everyone. In fact, it's for a few people, because some people want to preserve their equity. But no matter what, it's a good thing for some of you in retirement. If you want to do it, I only trust ApprovalReverse.com. Joan Sullivan, because she won't push you into it unless she knows it'll improve your situation. 303-771-3528, 771-3528, ApprovalReverse.com. Okay, now, we have an ongoing problem with a shop, and we wanted to do more investigation. It all boils down to this. She went to Jim Weiss, 44th Avenue Auto in Bennett, for a job. And I want to put all the past stuff we've had with Jim Weiss in the back. That has nothing to do with this. Bottom line is, this woman said he's had the car for a long time and went way over the estimate. He is saying, no, I didn't. I put down exactly what I was going to do, and the machine work was extra.
You know what? That's not how I'm reading this, Tom, no matter how I look at it. The initial estimate is $1,069 plus this line that says remove head, repair as needed, install new timing belt, water pump, etc. Labor $1,464. So the original estimate was $2,500. Then he notes on here the original estimate was $2,500. She went to the machine shop, authorized some additional work, and it came to $3,000. So, but now my understanding from the caller is it's at like $4,500.
Okay.
So there is a discrepancy somewhere.
All right. So the original was $2,500. Let's ask Jim to explain that before we bring on our expert. I got to do this rather quickly. Jim, so we got this invoice here, and you said the original estimate was $2,500, right?
No, the original estimate was $2,500 plus the machine work and parts for the head work.
Well, why does the labor line, Jim, say remove head, repair is needed, $1,764? That's what it says.
That's labor.
Okay.
That's the labor.
So that was to take it off, bring it to the machine shop, go get it, and put it back on?
Now, hang on a sec.
No, I'm just asking.
Okay, if you look at what it says right there, If you look at the notes, it says initial estimate was $2,500 plus head work and machine shop.
Okay, is this the same one they have, though?
No, this is what he made up for us.
Same one I gave him, 2 weeks ago when they said they couldn't pay for it then.
Okay, and I think what she's saying is, well, we just got to ask her, but Jim, I'm under the impression, and I think she is, that it included the head work. Is that where she's coming from?
Well, here's the problem. I have mostly dealt with her husband, and her husband, I have videotape of them here because I have a security system here. You know, coming over many times and showing him what was going on. I mean, this thing's got 180,000 miles on it. Okay. And so they brought the car, and I'm not going to do the whole scenario back from the beginning, but it's pretty open and shut. The labor that I'm charging for is only $1,764 in labor. And that's just the labor to remove the head and install, you know, the timing components and the water pump and everything. That's just the labor to do that.
Jeez, I just have to read that, Tom. It says labor.
Let me see.
Repair head. Here, go ahead. Just read that line right there.
See, I see what he's saying here, that all the stuff, he added it all up.
Yeah, but read that labor line.
And it says total service $1,764. Total $1,764. Now,
but what's that line
was
say?
Labor. It's, well,
install, or what's it say?
It says remove
head.
Remove head, repair as needed, install new timing / water pump, etc. He's saying that's the labor to do that, not the parts.
I understand what he's saying. I'm saying that's pretty ambiguous.
So the other stuff on top of that, is that the labor or is that the parts?
Parts.
Those are parts. So parts come to $1,069, labor comes to $1,764 plus machine work. That's what you're saying.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Is there an initial estimate that they got?
But is that unreasonable? Let's listen. $1,069 for all of that other work, $1,764 for the labor, and then he's saying plus the machine work.
I think it is reasonable.
Plus the machine work.
But that's not what she's saying the problem is. But I think
the problem is she's saying she didn't expect it because he didn't tell her.
I think that's reasonable for what he did, but we should ask an expert.
Okay, we will, but we're out of time, so we have to come back and do it after this break. I'm sorry, that's just the way we have to do it, and we'll revisit this coming up. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino.
I see what she's saying. But if she actually got that at the beginning, then it's all on her.
She said, well, then she probably wouldn't have done it.
I know, right?
Then they wouldn't have had the car fixed. 17-year-old.
Trenner was on yesterday. Well, then he was done too. Trenner was on.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was done too yesterday. You didn't realize. Okay, so never mind that.
No, he did. He got some good play too.
So you got the email from her. I forwarded her email that she both of you guys.
Me and Dan are going to open up a restaurant called McDougal's, and we're going to serve, double quarter pounders with extra cheese. We're going to change things by just a little bit. A McDougal double.
A little extra bacon in there.
Chicken nuggets.
That's 13 years, 23 years, 15 years, 27 years, whatever the term, they'll do it. It's a flexible
I can see
term
putting
loan.
$4,500 into a 17-year-old car, and it's a Volkswagen.
Did you call that solar company, by the way?
Lender regulated by your
Did I give that to you? Oh, no, I gave that to upstairs, I remember. I'm going to have you call Evan, though, because I want to get them on. Or I'll call.
Hey, say Matthew Fine watches, because he really...
Yeah, I will. I got to mention him again.
Scott.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. At a memorial ceremony in Virginia, a message from Mark Heyer, father of Heather Heyer, a counter-protester who was killed Saturday in Charlottesville.
We just need to stop all this stuff and just forgive each other.
Mark Heyer's daughter was deliberately run down by a car driven by
Man, I'll tell you
20-year-old
what,
James Alex.
CNN is coming right out in their articles saying Trump needs to be removed. It's a president on the brink of flood. Have you literally read their stories?
I don't know.
No, I mean, they're literally coming. I'm telling you, man, he didn't handle this right. He didn't handle it right. He keeps saying there's two sides.
There is.
No, they shouldn't have been
Nazis, white supremacists.
Right, but okay, Tom, they had all of the correct permits and everything like that.
Even the ACLU said.
Yeah, Tom, like I said, sometimes you get on that and stuff, but I agree, they've never, it's a bad deal.
Well, why does he say there's not right and wrong on both sides? There's not. They may have been a little violent to left, but there's nothing right about the right side at all. There's nothing right.
Exactly.
He didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
Are you kidding? He came out and condemned it.
He said the violence is wrong on both sides.
Not only that, the police didn't do anything.
That's the biggest thing. The police didn't do anything. It's almost like they, to tell you the truth, they should just let the two groups go at each other in a football field.
Indeed.com.
It's stupid, man. I don't understand why the cops don't do shit. It drives me nuts. It drives me freaking
Did you hear
nuts.
what happened in Denver? We had
Here's a $50 credit to post a sponsored job. Posting your listing and relevant search results. Claim your $50 credit at Indeed.com.
They were talking about on 710.
Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality.
There is hate on both sides. These guys aren't liberals, whatever. They're anarchists.
You're not going to, Trump is not going to change. I don't know what to tell anybody. He's never.
I don't like the way he says stuff, but I like his policy.
He's a fucking idiot. But the good, you know what I do like?
I totally agree with you.
What he says is not, it's what he thinks. At least he's not out there bullshitting saying, saying one thing and thinking another. The guy's about as straight as it gets. Like him or fucking hate him.
And they said, like, say Obama come up. Geez, I can say many times Obama got everything wrong. And then he had to come back and stuff. But Benghazi, you know, the beer gate.
I said that what I don't understand with these riots is why, I don't care who it is. How about when Black Lives Matter started lighting things on fire? Well, no. Listen to me. How come no one gets arrested? I mean, this guy did because he killed people, but shit, why don't they arrest people before this shit goes down? You know those assholes showed up fully fucking loaded? I mean, they're just walking around with fucking machine guns and shit. I don't care if it's legal in Virginia. You got two groups that hate each other, you fucking shut that down. Absolutely. You don't give them a permit. Right. The cops have shit to do with that fucking death.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree. And actually, it's probably not the cops, it's probably the mayor,
the governor,
probably the mayor,
and the police captain, whoever.
Yeah,
I mean, it's bullshit.
Right.
They tell them to stand down. These fucking Nazis are walking around with fully loaded weapons like this shit's going to go down good. And no one does shit. Then when it goes bad, everybody's fucking surprised.
And the other group has their shields and bats and everything too. It's just like, Gang of War.
It's like what's that old book everybody had to read in high school? Oh man, the 50s. God, I can never think of shit.
50s.
Yeah, they had like Tommy Boy, or not Tommy Boy, Pony Boy. It had
yes, the gangs. It was.
It's like that.
I can't believe
it's not the Cross and Switchblade. You're not talking about.
No, it had. What was the book that had Pony Boy?
I know.
Oh my God, everybody had to read this book in high school. Pony Boy, he was one of the characters. It was two gangs like set in the 50s.
You mean West Side Story?
No. Shit!
471.
When I say it, you guys, I just gotta look up Pony Boy.
Packed into powered water. You can feel the difference when I walk on my...
My point with all that shit, though, is why do they let these stupid neo-Nazis show up, walking around with machine guns and shit? Why didn't the outsiders? Why didn't the cops shut all this shit down before any of this shit went down? That's what I don't get.
In some cases, additional fees may apply. Call now and get...
You can't be walking around with fucking baseball bats and loaded guns. It's ridiculous. And I have lots of guns. I love guns. I don't go to a fucking riot with a gun. When I go confront people, I don't bring a gun. The last place you want a gun is at these places.
Well, they're saying,
you're like Pony Boy.
But he is not. He truly isn't. Just one day. He's not strong enough on condemning that fraction.
No, that's how it is. He couldn't have been stronger condemning them. It took him. No, because he condemned them during the damn.
Well, why is his own party?
Yeah.
And everybody's against him except the neo-Nazis. Why is that?
Because the media is putting pressure on those guys.
He doesn't like the elite media. It's so.
Let me tell you,
he's always going to be Trump. He's not going to change.
I know that CNN is not unbiased at all. They are out to get him.
Oh, they're out to crush him.
No matter what he does, it will never be right. I understand that. But he truly, by saying, there was right and wrong on both sides, or That is.
Can you? Okay. Here's what I always get with Tom.
I'll tell you.
Think of that. No. Think of that like when Kalen Eccles pissed you off. Think about all this shit, and you're screaming at them, or when I scream at people. He doesn't have that filter either, and he doesn't give a shit that he's the president. Now, is that right or wrong? I don't know.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Listen, we are trying to get through this problem, and we're going to do it. I am your troubleshooter, a consumer advocacy show. We're live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on iHeartRadio, live on KHOW Radio and affiliates in Colorado Springs, KRDO, and other stations. And we welcome everyone around the country, especially here in our home state. And listen, this whole deal, bottom line is this. I'm going to bring up an independent guy to talk about the bill. Jim Weiss, this particular 44th Auto Service, did this timing belt for this woman, Janelle. Janelle's upset. She's upset because she wasn't expecting it. I'm going to let her talk. But Janelle, please don't, what I don't want to do is do it from the very beginning. You have a problem. Your original estimate, you say, was how much?
$2,500.
Okay. Now, if you, okay, did you go to the machine shop and pay them directly?
Yes.
How much?
$1,000.
And did you expect that $1,000 to be subtracted from the total cost of $2,500?
Yes.
So you expected to get your entire timing belt done for $2,500 with the machine work?
Well, the head, the timing belt, everything.
Yeah, you expected to get the entire job done for $2,500.
Yes, but even that, the point is not how much the bill is, but that it got to be that point without our approval.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. You're saying if it was going to be more than $2,500, I should have been given the option of approving the additional charges.
And that is correct.
Okay, yes. Is that what you're saying? Well, technically, it depends. If the car was towed in, then it's outside of the Auto Repair Act. Okay? It excludes cars that are towed into a dealership.
I don't think so. Look it up. I will.
Now, if a car is towed in, it is my belief it falls outside of the Auto Repair Act. Now, I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. So, let's talk to Al Aramis here and get his opinion on the bill, and then I'll go back to Jim Weiss. Al, you looked over this invoice, and here's the point. Is it let me ask you this. If she would have gotten the timing belt done, are you there, Al? It sounds like you're fumbling and falling downstairs. Are you there? Al?
I'm here.
Okay,
I'm here.
all right, good. By the way, thank you for the wonderful job in my car yesterday. I appreciate that. Now,
thank you, of course.
Okay.
And I didn't fall down. I'm standing straight up.
All right, now, on this, if you were to bring this car in for a timing belt with bent rod or bent valves and stuff,
yeah,
that job, no matter who did it, would have cost more than $2,500, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. What would it have cost?
So, here's the piece that I've read the invoice. I took a look at it. Whenever you quote anybody a head job that the head's coming off and going to a machine shop, you give them estimates. Because the machine shop has to take a look. Are the guides cracked? Are the valves bent? Did it mess up the seats? Does it need milling? Does it need additional things? So you always estimate.
All right. Then here's what I'm going to ask you. If you go to that final price down here, $29.84.
That's right.
And you add to it the $1,000 she paid to the machine shop.
Yes, sir.
Does that put that bill, $39.84, out of the realm of possibility based on what he did?
No, not at all.
Okay. Now, that's not the issue then. What the issue is whether she had the opportunity to do it or not.
And here's what it says, by the way. Vehicles...
Hold on.
Vehicles that are towed in or left before or after business hours, so not just towed in, left.
What about it?
No more than $100 worth of parts and labor combined is allowed without owner consent. Then it talks about estimates, and we've talked of this. Unless if Jim has something that in bold type says, I do not wish to receive any estimate, either written or oral, I am entitled to by law. And I don't see that anywhere.
So the Auto Repair Act does not exclude cars towed in?
No, just to $100. I mean, in other words, if you have it towed in, they can't exceed $100 without written consent.
But that's normal.
Well, that's what it says, so it's normal.
Okay, but that's the normal auto repair.
I think what they're saying is, no, if you drop it off before business, they can pull it in, do $100 of work without getting any consent whatsoever, just for the fact you dropped it off. Does that sound correct, Al?
Yeah, that sounds totally correct. But I want to weigh in on something you said, and Tom, listen to this piece. On the piece of his invoice, it says in the notes that the initial estimate is $2,500 plus head work and...
Yeah, but I think he wrote this after the fact.
He created this in the last week.
I think. Janelle, is this... did you give us a copy of the invoice you got?
We never got any. We got a very broken down invoice. We never got...
This is dated. This invoice is dated. Wait a second. This invoice is dated February 3rd.
Janelle just told me before she came on when I called her, she's like, you said you purposely didn't share the invoices with us, Janelle?
No. I said I didn't purposely share the parts invoices because I didn't want to dispute his charges. Although now I would like to because he's telling me we owe him for parts and we paid for them.
Well, here's the deal, okay? It has a place here for a signature. So I'll just ask Jim straight up. I'll just ask him straight up. Jim, this was done, according to you, February 3rd, 2017, and it has a place for a signature. Do you have her with a signature on this?
Okay, well, it's a little more in depth than that, Tom, and I'll tell you why. Because the Motor Vehicle Repair Act, I mean, you are semi-correct that you're taking, bits and pieces out of it. Here's the thing with Janelle. Okay, I won't times about this. Her husband has been to my shop a half a dozen times.
But did they ever sign the original invoice?
Not the original invoice, because the original invoice
or estimate.
So they came down and once everything was done, and even to the last week, and I even have texts from him saying they couldn't pay it, and I have videotape from him in here, and what was going on.
Yeah, but all that doesn't matter because at the end, Jim, they were still expecting to pay $2,500 according to them, or $3,000, whatever it is.
Now, absolutely not. I can't tell you how many times I stood here and had her husband. I didn't speak to her. The only time I ever spoke to her is when I called her up and she called me back and said, we have family emergencies, we can't pay for it till next month. That's the only real time. Everything, all the transactions and all the discussions and additional parts that they brought me to install in their car was done with him, not her. So I don't understand how she can physically sit there.
I guess she's saying this. If it was going to be $2,500, she'd have no dispute. She says, and she's not even disputing the entire bill. She's just saying she never had an opportunity to authorize it under the Auto Repair Act. And
Tom, her husband authorized it over and over and over.
Okay, now you can authorize it by verbally. But you had what you're supposed to do is put down the date and the time he consented.
And I have all that, Tom. I have all.
Well, then, Janelle, he's saying your husband agreed to all the additional charges.
And then added more stuff even once he knew what it was. Listen, Tom, this is why I've been doing this for 40 years. I don't take heads off parts and tell the customer, hey, go take the part in a machine shop and get it done and bring it back to me, because that takes out of my profit, and it also.
So listen. I tend to believe part of what you're saying. I think that you may. Here's the deal. The reason I don't think you're ripping them off is because if you add all this up, it makes absolute sense.
I don't think it's a rip-off, but I'm going, there is definitely miscommunication here, and I wonder...
But that does that mean then he gets to do this free? Or if Janelle is saying, if I knew it was going to be this much, I wouldn't have had it done. Is that right, Janelle?
Yes.
Okay, what would you have done? That's what I need to know now. What would you have done? Okay, I come to you and say, Janelle, this is going to be $4,000 or $4,500. What would you have done?
We'd have sold the car for scrap.
Okay, well, how about this then? That car is in running condition. He said that he wanted your title. Let him sell it and pay you the scrap price on it, and he keeps the rest. That's fair. If you were going to sell the car for scrap, that car would have been worth what? What would that car would have been worth? A few $100 scrap. How? So, why don't you just sign it over to him? He'll sell it and give you the $400. That's fair. Then you get because what you're saying is the damages are this. You would have never done it. So then the obvious question is, what would you have done? You would have sold it for scrap. So if you get your scrap value, then you are put in a position of him telling you it was going to be $4,500 and you denying it. It is exactly the same. So right now, you should be satisfied with $400 or $500, whatever the scrap value is. I'll get a price on it. Then you should just get that, and he should be able to sell it and keep the rest.
Hey, Tom, am I still on the air?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what, and I know you got other callers and stuff and other things, so I'll try to make this as brief as possible. But this whole time frame, I usually. The only reason I sent them to go somewhere else to do the head work is because they said they couldn't afford it. When they towed this thing in here on a Sunday at 8 o'clock at night, I told them it's probably not worth fixing. It's going to cost more than what you paid for the car. They fought for 2 or 3 months with the guy that sold them the car. The guy that sold them the car gave them, and he told me, I remember it's either $600 or $800 back to apply to the head work. So technically, Janelle got.
We're losing your cell, Jim. I
think we get it.
But I think, listen, I don't think there's wrong on anyone's part. I think it was a lack of communication. That's what I think. So, Janelle, you said, if that guy told me it was going to be $4,500, I would have never done it. I would have sold it for scrap, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so are you willing to take the scrap value of that car?
Yes.
Okay, but so if he can sell it...
But wait, there's still a problem.
He may not want to do that. What?
Well, the $1,000 she paid to the machine shop is still in play.
Oh, you're right.
Plus the parts that we bought.
Oh God,
plus he's going to... Well, no, Jim's not saying you'd have to pay for... Oh, you bought these parts?
Oh, yeah. That's
wait a minute.
I don't understand why he's charging me for parts.
So you're saying you paid Jim already $1,069 for the parts?
No, she paid $1,000 to the machine shop. And how much for parts?
$350 for parts.
So you're $1,300 into this, or $1,300 something into this.
So if you do 13 plus 4, $1,700.
Plus $1,000 cash that we paid him for the car already.
What?
Oh, she gave Jim $1,000 down.
So you paid...
No. Since he said he had the car almost finished, and he really needed the money, we gave him $1,000.
Do you have a receipt? Do you have a receipt for that cash?
I have the checks. I have the canceled check.
Okay, this is too complicated to solve. It's going to end up in court. I can't solve it. Jim, how much does she owe you right now today? If you take in what she's already paid you, the $1,000 plus $300 for parts, plus she paid the machine shop, how much does she owe you right today, right now? How much?
Well, you just take the total and minus $1,000.
So how much would that be? Let me know.
1,900.
Are you willing to do anything for her?
No. But she paid you $300 for parts. What about that?
No, that was to the machine shop.
Okay, stop a minute, guys. Give me a chance to talk here, okay?
What do you have to say?
Well, those $300 that she's saying for parts are not parts for me. Those are additional parts that her husband wanted to put on while it was a part. That had nothing to do with me.
Okay, I'll grant you that.
He says, well, let's put a mount in this. Let's do this hose here. Let's do this. I said, okay.
Okay.
Go get the parts. And I even told them where to go get the parts to do it.
Okay, we get it. So she paid you $1,000. So how much does she owe you? She owes you $3,000 minus $1,000.
Right, $2,984 minus $1,000, $1,984.
So she owes you $1,900 approximately. All right, hold on. Okay, I get it. So Janelle, that other way is not going to work because you paid the machine shop. You're never going to get that money back. So he's saying to get your car, it's going to be $1,900.
Unless he's willing to help her out. I mean, ask him. So, I don't know. He sounds like a different man to me.
So let's ask him if he'll take anything off of the $1,900, and we'll do it in a little while because I have to take other calls, and I'm way over time right now.
Okay. I am so... I mean, this is like confusing.
Here's it. You want to hear the biggest problem? Here's an engine. You know how an engine works. You got your bottom end, you got your top end. The bottom end has 180,000 miles on it. He just resealed the compression at the top end. That fucking bottom end is probably going to throw a fucking rod within 10,000 miles. I think so.
But these pistons are going to be war. I mean, the pistons and cylinders has got, like you say, 180,000 miles.
Yeah, but they're
going to be leaking oil.
Anything can happen with that bottom end, but I mean, the oil pump could go out on that bottom end.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. The oil pump and stuff. He probably replaced the water pump.
You got 40, 50,000 in the timing belt brakes. That's one thing, but 180,000, and then you do the top end only. It's fucking junk.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
Freaking junk.
Plus the rest of the car.
Probably seen those crazy dramatic
suspension,
70 to 80%. How is that possible?
Yeah, but I'm talking just the engine.
Right. I agree. I totally agree.
Giant warehouses where you're just...
But like what he had said is that he told him it's going to be worth more than what you paid for the car. I mean, it's going to cost more than what you paid for the car.
Yeah, but they were already stuck in the car. It sounds like, because he did acknowledge, or Jim just said, that they... purchased the car, they were fighting with the guy they bought it from. So they already got okie doke.
Did they, as far as when they bought the car, was the timing belt already broke?
No.
So they drove it for a little while.
And the timing belt broke.
That's their fault.
Yeah, there's nothing. Of course, they have no idea. They should have went and had it checked.
Unless the guy, well, you can't check a timing belt.
No, of course you can.
So what were you saying?
How do you check a timing
belt?
belt?
You pull the timing cover on a lot of cars. Some cars, it's labor intensive to check.
Is this new? No.
I just opened it and cracked it, yeah.
Okay, wait, okay.
I'll go get you one.
No, I'll see if she has one first.
I was going to call him King Solomon. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
The way he settled it.
There was an episode of Seinfeld like it. He was going to cut the bike in half.
Newman. Hey, so I called...
I'm going to cut the bike in half, and Elaine says, fine. And Kramer goes, no, she can keep the bike. Aha! Yeah. It's fucked up. I'm hoping he does something.
I could have sworn that if a car is towed in, you waive your right to a written estimate.
No, not at all. Well, yes, you do, up to the tune of 100. If you bring the car in, they can't even go up to 100.
Okay, it says this. The required written consent is waived by a customer if the vehicle was left by a customer at the repair facility outside of normal hours or towed to the facility where the customer waives the authorization, either writing or orally. Come here. Then what does that mean? It doesn't say 100 here.
Well, this one says no more than 100.
Well, okay. Well, this is what I remember reading.
Let's see.
The required written consent is waived. Now, this is a summary from the Colorado Automobile Dealers Association. So this is not the law. Are you reading the actual law?
I think so. Let me look.
Let's get the actual law.
Colorado.aaa.com.
What am I reading?
It's not the...
Let's get the actual number of the law.
Okay, let's get it. Here it is. Plain English. CRS.
What is it?
I've got it. 42-9.
42-9-101.
You're right. Let's go, because I'm not reading the law either.
Okay, let's see it.
Colorado Revised Statute.
Let's see.
I'll read it. I'll find it.
Where is it? Where did you find it?
I don't know yet. I haven't yet.
Okay, here it is, right?
I keep clicking, but I'm not getting it.
It doesn't get the full thing.
No, I don't have it.
Short title definitions, I found it. When consent in estimates required, original transaction disassembly. Okay, the required consent.
So you're looking at the headings too.
Except as provided in paragraph B.
42. You're looking at 42-9-104.
Yeah, I am. I just can't find.
Is waived. Only when the obvious. Yeah, look at it. Look at 1B, and it doesn't give a number.
Let me look. I'm looking.
It doesn't give a number. The written consent.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. Listen, I don't want to complicate this any longer. I have to take other calls. I really do. But bottom line here is, The Auto Repair Act, the one I'm looking at, does not put a limit of $100 on this thing. It says if your car is towed in, or if it's left after hours, then you waive your right to a written estimate. To written consent is waived. That doesn't, I don't know. It says when the customer has not given the motor vehicle repair facility written consent to perform repairs, no repair shall be done unless the well, but it says you waive that right. So this is kind of weird. Bottom line is this. I want to move on. Janelle, we really, you know, there were mistakes made all the way around, and we're on your side, but I have to tell you, you're going to owe him something. You really will. Are you prepared to pay anything for this?
Yeah, I don't mind paying it. We agreed to $500 week payments until it was paid, and then all of a sudden he flipped and said it has to be paid right now.
So you'll pay the balance if you can pay it over time?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on, is it outright paid for, the car?
Yes.
Okay, so you have the title?
Yeah.
So you would allow him to hold the title while the payments are being made?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, then that is, Jim, that to me sounds they're willing to pay you overtime and let you hold the title. Jim? You there? If he's not there, he's got to be listening, or we'll let him know, or Jim, or you can let him know. But I think that's the best we can hope for. Now, Al Aramis, Al, these timing belts, that's why you always say, get it done before it breaks, because you're going to have massive repairs. Now, if somebody went to you, and I know this is not your special today, but if somebody went to you for a timing belt, just a timing belt, without it breaking, what would it cost to replace that?
Well, Tom, they vary, because 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder.
Just roughly, give me a range.
5 to 1,500, 500 to 1,500.
But that's a fraction of the cost of if it, you know, if it broke, it'd be way more.
Of course, and you want to do it beforehand. It's so foolish to get in these situations, you know, and it just costs you so much.
Hey, Al, let me ask him one more question about this. That vehicle had 180,000 miles. Now that the top end, all the valves, the head's been done, my contention is there's a good possibility that bottom end's going to go in the next 10,000.
Oh, no.
Boy, I wanted to mention that, but I know we were limited on time. Mark, I stay away from pulling heads off cars with that high miles.
See, that's the problem. Right. You just resealed it. There's going to be oil leaks. It shouldn't have been done.
Yeah.
Well, but it was.
You do use motors in those situations, because those cars ain't worth the cash. Those cars don't hold their value. They got major problems.
Let's talk about good news. You have an alignment special?
Well, yeah, the reason I want to say this is because there's two things that are going to wear your tires out. You're an all-wheel drive car, the one you drive.
Yeah.
Half your crew probably has one. What kills those tires are lack of rotation and alignment. It costs a fortune, and on all-wheel drive cars, you burn out one tire, you need to do all four. So let's align it, and what I'm going to do for Martino listeners, I'm going to throw it up on a rack, measure all your readings, and give you a printout, tell you where you're at for an alignment. I'm doing that for free. 5 callers, each location.
Wow.
You got to call today. You call tomorrow, you're not getting anything.
All right, call today to schedule it. That's a free alignment check. That's on a machine to tell you where you are and what it will take to get it straight, all free of charge, and that will be 5 at each location, near Evans and I-25, near Bowles and Santa Fe, 303 Pro Auto, 303 Pro Auto, or 303proauto.com. But you got to call. Don't go to the website for that special. Now, Michael, do we have a follow-up on this one with Landmark Garages?
Yes, Dan spoke with Mr. Miller the other day. Just
to bring you up to speed, Landmark Garages took money. They did a shoddy job on some of it and didn't finish the rest. Is that where we stand at this point? Dan.
Right. So he returned a phone call. I talked to him, and he didn't know of all the ins and outs about it. So he returned a phone call, said he was going to take care of everything from this.
He will?
Yes.
Okay, so Michael, did you get a call, or did this, what's his name, Miller, was it? Merrill
Miller.
Merrill Miller, did he come back and fix everything?
Oh, no, not at all. He didn't even reach out. So
didn't he? I think he told Dan he had to look at his notes, get some things together before he followed up. Right, Dan?
Right. Then he left a message the next day saying he was going to take care of it. And I've left several messages with him to say...
How much have you paid him total yet now, Mike? How much total?
I'd say probably about 85%. So it's like 22 $2,000 or something like that. I don't know. I don't know exactly.
Okay, but you say
Over
some of the
$20,000.
stuff he did you have to redo, is what you told me.
Correct. Yeah, he can't pass the inspection because they didn't do the slope of the roof correctly for the shingles. The wrong shingles were on the roof for the slope.
So you're out no matter what.
Yeah, I mean we're out.
Unless this guy agrees. And again, this is the clown that wouldn't come on the air, Merrill Miller, because he said he wouldn't come on the air. He didn't want to talk to me because he heard me on the phone one time on my show come on to another person he knows.
Partner's wife. Oh, yeah, then we had someone else call up and say the same thing happened.
yeah, that was you.
All right, let's try to stay away from that one.
Yeah, that was so stupid. Anyway, so this guy, that tells me he's a liar because he said he personally heard it. And so that means he's a liar. So I say if someone lies in one thing, they're going to lie in another. And he's lying. He's not going to come back and fix it for you. Dan, he lied to you. He said he was going to take care of it. He hasn't even called this guy.
Right.
So listen, we got to start some action on this. I think you start with small claims court. Would $7,500 put you with what you owe plus $7,500? That's the limit. Would that make you whole with another contractor?
Yeah, most likely, for sure.
Then I would sue. Here's what I would do. I would figure out how much it will cost to finish this job, how much you owe him, and then see if you can get it done, and whatever the deficit is above what you owe him, then you have to sue him for it.
Right, that's what we're doing. We already started with it.
And then we'll help you get them served, and then after you get a judgment, we'll help you get it collected.
Okay, great.
We'll put you in touch with the right people. Remember now, people, if you want to collect a judgment, you got to take action. But there are things you can do that can end someone up in jail if they don't cooperate. And we know some really good collectors. So I want to tell everyone to stay away from Landmark Garages and Merrill Miller. Merrill Miller, Landmark Garages. What is his phone number in case they see it in Craigslist? I want them to avoid it. Do you have it? Does anyone have it? Michael, do you have his number?
Not handy.
He reminds me of
I have
the
it,
ladies'
Tom.
man.
He's got 1.6 stars on review. You want his phone number?
1.6 stars?
Yeah.
He's right up there.
What's his number?
303-944-4091.
Yeah, and I'd like to get some information on him if you have it, because I want to put him on the Sleaze Brigade, too.
I think didn't we run a background on him, too?
I don't think so.
Merrill?
I thought we did. I got to look.
Well, I've tried to call him several times since he left that message.
303-944-4091. Ask him to ask him when and where I came on to that partner's wife, and ask him for details. A liar.
I'll text him now.
And does he have video?
Yeah, 303. It wouldn't matter. Never happened. Never will. Never has. Listen, I've done a lot of little things here and there, but never, ever that. Never, ever disrespected a woman. Never came on to any woman, ever. 303-944-4091. Okay, now, let's talk about your problems right after this.
It's kind of funny. The first time I called him, he answered right away.
I'm sending you
Every
one.
time else, it goes right to voicemail.
This sounds like some crazy. Call him up, see what it is. I'm forwarding it to you. Came into KRDO. The guy sounds like, it could be good because he sounds like a real, yeah.
Mark,
yeah.
This morning I put the iHeart invoice on your desk, and Chris came up with another one, and I said, I already gave it to Mark. He said, well, Mark emailed me this morning saying send me an invoice. So he gave me another one, but I put this on your desk. But, I mean, really, I don't know if you're able to say this or not. I really don't want to be your messenger on billing and stuff.
Well, this is all supposed to be over.
I'm just saying, I mean, like, that's what he said to me yesterday.
Well, tell him to fuck off. I mean,
I don't
whatever.
want to tell him that. I want to be nice. I'm just saying, he said to me yesterday, oh, you're his other half, I'll give this to you for you to handle. And I'm like, you ain't got enough shit to handle.
Yeah, we'll tell him that. Say no.
So, okay, I'll just I'll email him. I'll say just deal directly with you on billing.
Yeah, and I'm not.
What?
Chris, he just isn't understanding. But we're on air right now, so I'm not going to talk about it.
They will refinance you free of lender fees.
Remember Matthew's Funny Watches?
Pre-approval of your shopping for a home? Wow, that's like getting a cash offer.
In fact, maybe I'll even call that Michael and see if he gave a call. So I should do it. Things along this time. I'll call Michael and I'll try to call Landmark again.
If you don't be tempted or forced into surgery,
His phone's going to get blown up.
if you want options other
surgery, finding a doctor who's focused on deferring or eliminating.
Hey, if we serve them, we should have Tom serve them in video. Have Tom hit on him.
Procedure before having surgery. The Osteo Relief Institute merges high-tech medicine using laser-guided video imaging with a series of 15-minute physician-administered joint cushioning treatments.
So Donna texted me to ask for my address.
Who?
Donna. Donna Martino.
Oh, your new address. That's probably why.
Call Osteo Relief to see if you have a chance at getting
Right.
800-578-NEED, because insurances and Medicare cover the procedure. 800-578-NEED to schedule your risk-free screening. 800-578-NEED or 5633.
For a transmission diagnostic, yes.
Remember, we're on.
The cost of repairs, or you pay nothing. You can't go wrong.
Donald Trump, look at CNN headline. Donald Trump's failure in Charlottesville wasn't political, it was moral. So this is their news, okay?
It always is so, Tom. What is the difference? Look, next week when he farts in public, the shit will be crazy.
Now they say his presidency is on the brink of collapse.
They've said that for the last 2 months.
That's been more than 2 months. Remember though, his candidacy was on the brink of collapse, and he was losing the night of the election like no other one has ever lost. Fuckers.
And then they all cried on CNN. They cried on the show after he got elected.
Literally.
They did. I know. Half of them anyway.
You got to get past CNN. You got to go anywhere else for news.
Well, even MSNBC is just like it.
Look, another headline. It's unusual. You guys aren't reading the news. What's the matter?
Oh, shit.
You're not reading the news. You're drinking the Kool-Aid.
Well, I told Drew, they used to talk about the Broncos, and he says, hey, that's fake news. You don't use that term.
Who said that?
You know,
Love for people and for what they do. Oh, he loves them, doesn't he? He hates them, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
That's the addict in your life, whether it's alcoholism, cocaine,
Hates
heroin, ecstasy, meth. Painkillers are the biggest thing right now. Stimulants, sedatives.
They hate the term fake news.
Marijuana has caused problems.
Liberals.
Oh, it's all fake.
No, but they hate that. If you ever say fake news, don't use that. So then it's okay, really fake news.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. The guy is far from a politician. There is no doubt about that. He is so rough around the edges, man. It's insane. But now what is this? Oh, that's Saturday.
And combine rough around the edges with the media blowing everything up.
Well, not only that, I'm kind of the same way, man. I don't throw the first punch, but if some asshole comes after me, I'll fucking do anything I can to bury him. So I understand his
Yeah, but not as president.
ideology.
Come on, Mark, not as president.
Well, I don't know if that's true or not.
But you remember, I know
King Jong-un fed his uncle to the dogs. Trump is yet to do that.
until the dog starts eating people.
And it's all good. CNN. Can you imagine he feeds Tucker? Or not Tucker,
Cooper.
Cooper, come over here. We turned the bowling alley into the White House.
How hungry is that dog?
Into a pit.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Rockies, 63rd and Federal. Used cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. Rockies. Get ready for winter. They have all kinds of all-wheel drives and four-wheel drives. What I really love is the variety they have. Remember, variety is the spice of life, right? Especially when it comes to cars, not only in pricing, but in colors and models and makes. And they are at 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, 303-426-4646. That's Rockies. Okay, let's keep going here, all right? Desmond, what's going on with you, Desmond?
Well, I'm reaching out because I'm having a problem with my moving company.
What's going on? What moving company is this?
Well, it said it was Franklin Van Lines out of Colorado, but it's doing business with Sunshine Moving of America.
Okay, I don't know either of them. How'd you find them, Desmond?
Just the internet search. I thought it was going through United Van Lines.
Yeah.
And because it said Van Lines, but it actually turned out to be Franklin. When I first talked to the lady, she was through United. She sent me a text, and I sent that to your person who called me. And then I got in touch with some Victor Thomas. He was supposed to be the senior move-in specialist for this Franklin van line.
So what's the problem? You haven't told me the problem yet. What's going on?
So we moved 726 from Wisconsin. They put our stuff
from Wisconsin to where?
To Arizona.
From Wisconsin to Arizona. Okay. And you found Franklin, and what went wrong?
Well, they put our stuff in storage, and then they told us to call back. They don't answer their phone, so we can find out where our stuff is.
God, this sucks. This sucks, man. So you don't even know where your stuff is?
No.
They picked up when in Wisconsin?
They picked up 725 in Wisconsin.
And when are they supposed to? I mean, why did it go to storage? Did you ask to go to storage first?
We asked to go to storage because we didn't have our place yet, and now we do. They said just call, and then
okay. And so you don't know where it is. When? So you don't have a scheduled delivery. And who have you been dealing with at Franklin?
There's been Victor Thompson is the main person I've been dealing with.
And what does he say when you ask him where your stuff is?
He just says, hold on, and then it hangs up.
Are you kidding me? Man, did you already pay them anything?
I paid them twice. I paid them a deposit, and then I paid them when they came and picked up. And
how much did you pay? How much did you pay?
About $3,000.
So far?
Yeah.
What can you imagine? What if, Mark? Could you imagine if he paid him $3,000 and they just take his stuff? What's to prevent it? I mean, we don't know these people. So Franklin, where is Franklin Van Lines out of? What part of the like? Were they in a city in Wisconsin?
No, they are actually in Colorado. They say in Aurora, Colorado, Denver, Colorado.
Victor Thompson, Aurora, Colorado. Okay.
Are you sure it's not some form of an aggregator?
Well, let's see. Well, let's give him a call. Listen, we're going to help you, man.
Geez, they got a 1 star on Yelp.
God, how did you find them, Desmond?
Just through the internet, like through movers.com, you know. And then I started to see the reviews after it was too late. Like,
I'm concerned, man. I really am concerned. What was the total move going to cost?
Well, they quoted me at $4,000, and when they got there, of course, it went to $8,000. So
that should have been a sign. And then you paid them $3,000, and watch out, they may want way more by the time they deliver it, because this is how these people work. I mean it. They're terrible. Look, we got to call them. It's good news. They're in our backyard. Dan, you want to help this guy? Let's hold on, Desmond. All right, man, hold on. By the way, Desmond, where are you moving to in Arizona?
Maricopa.
And why?
Just because of change of scenery, job.
Okay. All right.
We visited, loved it.
Wisconsin's beautiful, but I think
it sure is.
You're going to be pretty hot in Arizona, that's for sure.
We hope so.
Are you there now?
Yes.
Okay, so hold on. Let's help this guy out from Wisconsin to Arizona. Now's waiting for his stuff. What I really fear, Mark, is when they deliver it, and he thinks he owes a balance of 5, and they say 7 or 8.
Too bad, so sad.
Oh man, I'm telling you, these movers. Did you find anything? Oh, you found bad reviews on about Franklin?
They did not look good.
God, that's terrible.
Sometimes they don't even deliver.
So, Mark, what is the bottom line? What did we decide on the Auto Repair Act? Are they exempt or not?
I was trying to reach Bob because I know he'd know the answer, but I do want to know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did we bet lunch on that one?
No, we didn't. Although I was about to, because I remember you were exempt not from an estimate, but from a written estimate. There was something about it.
I have a feeling we're both wrong.
Really? Okay. 303-713-TALK. Who's Bob that you wanted to reach?
Bob, the car guy.
Oh. Okay, he may know. You're right. He may know that, the Auto Repair Act. Now, really read the act.
He probably got it tattooed
a lot of the summaries are different.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem I started running into.
Yeah, you read summaries, and they interpret them differently. Dave, what's going on with you, sir? What's happening? Dave?
John, I just wanted to comment about your referral list.
Thank you.
I just had my top radiator hose blow off, and I seized the engine.
Yeah.
I ended up taking it down to Budget A1, and they have done a fabulous job of getting it put back together. And they put a a used engine, and when it was out, we replaced the radiator, we replaced the timing belt and everything, and then it had some leaks after they were putting it back together. And all the extra work to get it up and running, they did all that extra work on their dime and not on mine. The price that they quoted me never changed.
That's what I love about the guys on my list. We take that referral list seriously, and thank you, Budget A1, for holding the banner high. We appreciate it, Dave. Thank you for telling us. And make sure you review online for us, too. We love helping people. And speaking of good people, I just got an email here about Flexident. Tom, I took my car into Flexident. So many other places were backed up. They took me the very next couple of days. I waited 2 days to get it done, and it's like new. And it was like half the price that a body shop quoted me. That's FlexidentColorado.com. They do paintless dent repair, and they do it all over the metro area, like 3 or 4 locations. Give them a call. They can get you in quickly. 303-619-6273. That's Flexident.
I'll have a few more. So which ones do you hate doing on these? Tell me the ones you hate doing. Any of them? For the noon hour, I'm going to leave early. I'm going to leave at 12:30. So why are you leaving early? Remember?
Your follow-up. It doesn't. I mean, honestly, actually, I like doing the Raleigh house.
Okay.
In Pro Auto, but we already did Pro Auto.
Yeah, I just scratched it.
And then where the hell is
Is Buddy supposed to be on there?
It should be partly cloudy today and a little bit cooler than normal with a high of 75
Sure is.
tonight.
I don't know why. I'll deal with it. I mean, I don't. There's nothing we're gonna do now.
Okay, so you don't care. You want to do. You like that. Okay, so probably I'll do tinnitus if I do another one.
Yeah, that's a good one because you deal with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I always just tell them how you use them. I tell them how what happens.
Are you ever going to consider this for your eyes?
I'm going to wait a few years. I'll tell you when I definitely do it is when I need bifocals.
Right now, those glasses fix you up both. Okay, so they're not bifocal.
No, in fact, I can read a book all day long. My only problem is far vision or near vision, whatever that is.
You are nearsighted.
Yeah, like you're blurry to me. But like a book right here, the computer screen.
So you have close vision.
Yeah,
but when that starts going with age,
this all day long is fine.
How old are you? 40-something?
45.
Oh yeah, you got time. That'll start going.
And the only reason I'd wait is because I think they're going to get better. You think I'm kidding? I really think you're going to be able to zoom in on shit.
Of course. Well, maybe, but I know they're going to get better.
Why can't they put a fucking telescopic lens or telephoto or a microscopic lens? Why can't they do that?
I'll tell you.
Think of how that'll change the
already
world.
Starting to clear up. I can't fucking believe how good I can see already.
So you won't need bifocals?
Never. Nothing. Because my eye doesn't change. The lens is artificial. There's nothing to change.
Yeah. The only reason you would change again is if they came up with a bionic eye.
Now, I don't know if I never even asked him if I even can have another lens. Or does this damage your eye where you can't replace it? I don't know.
No, because I think, well, I don't know. That's a damn good question. Do they ever do cataracts where they put in a organic lens?
No. They're always
There's never an exchange with a cadaver.
Heretofore, they've been either close or far. Most people pick
whatever the best.
The far, the medium to far.
So they can drive.
Then they use glasses for reading. That's most older people just have glasses to read if they have. But this, I mean, to me it was too good to be true. And this eye was so awesome, but this one started getting worse and worse. So now it's going to be, I mean, I can tell already looking out there because I always moved in a blur.
Have you always had good eyes?
No, I was like 2,400.
So what do you have done?
LASIK.
Okay.
So your LASIK is still working?
Yeah.
Is it mono?
No.
No, what I meant was there's one close and one far?
No.
So you can read close and far? You can see close and far?
Well, right, I can see close and far, but like I said, I do get the...
Yeah, but you can read closely right now.
But it's got to be, I can read this, but you start going like this.
No, but you can read normal.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't need any readers. And how long ago did you have that done?
98.
That's astounding. That is astounding. And you can see distance too.
Distance, but I'm not 20/20.
Yeah, but you still can see without glasses.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
And my eye doctor.
No, that's too amazing. That you can, on a LASIK surgery in '98, it lasted this long.
That was 2,400. I was almost legally fine.
I just can't believe it. I mean, usually, and how old are you?
Like 72.
42.
Are you in your 60s? You're my age, right? You should. It should have really deteriorated. I just can't.
It has. It has went back down. You know, I don't.
What has gone down?
Well, I used to be 2015.
Yeah, but so what? So you can't see how, what, 100 feet away?
Well, no, I can still drive and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not. So your near vision is not deteriorating.
Well, near vision, I mean, I can't see the really small stuff.
But you don't have readers.
No. Unless I look at real smaller stuff.
To me, that's good.
Stuff.
How many fingers am I holding up?
You got fingers?
Really? He lives here. He's got a cot in the back. Just ask him.
Like I can barely read this little stuff. You can read that, right? That stuff here, I have a hard time reading.
I read this perfect.
No, that real little slow.
Yeah, right here. I can read it perfect from right here.
Okay.
Every perk in the signature product is
I've got a really.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Love hearing great things about the referral list. We love when people call and give us, you know, their rendition of what happened. Now, we have another problem with a moving company, Diane. Wow. You know what? Moving is a very, very, very risky endeavor, especially when you go on the internet. You don't know who you're dealing with. And Mark used an expression, an aggregator. There are so many people that literally don't have a business except for buying the moves on the internet, getting contracts and reselling them, and they don't care about your stuff. Diane, who are you dealing with?
The company is called Abe Lincoln Movers.
Where'd you find them, Diane?
I found them on Groupon. They were offering a Groupon, but as it turns out, when I called to get the Groupon, use it, he said that wasn't good during their high season.
So why'd you bother using them at all?
Well, he said it wasn't good, but he would honor the price anyway.
Okay, so where are they located?
They're locally in town. Let me see what their address is. It's a local company. I just moved from Thornton to Littleton.
And they're in Denver somewhere?
Yeah, I don't have their address. Just they're in Denver.
Okay. So, what's the problem?
Okay, well, it was a terrible, terrible experience.
From Thornton from Thornton to where?
Littleton.
Okay. And what's the problem?
12 times.
Tell me what went wrong.
They said it would take about 4 to 5 hours to complete the move, and it took 10 hours.
So did they give you an estimate ahead of time?
Yeah.
Did they blow way past it? Did they blow way past it?
Doubled it.
No, I mean price-wise they did.
No, it was done per hour.
Oh, so what was the total price when it was all done?
Okay, so what we settled on was $90 per hour.
But just tell me the total you paid at the end.
$900.
And tell me what you wanted to pay.
Well, that's not what my problem is.
Oh, what's the problem?
Okay, my problem is that they ruined something. They damaged something, and I feel that I should be reimbursed for it.
Here is the problem. If you signed anything at all at the delivery, it could have said everything was great. Or if you had an inventory done at the site of pickup where they pick up something and write down an inventory, they will many times write down something is damaged or in bad condition on purpose. Why? Because if it does get damaged and stuff, they can show you the inventory and say, look, it's damaged. But here's the deal. If it's not damaged, people very seldom complain when something shows up in better condition. That's how they get away with that. So, did they have an inventory sheet?
No.
Did they have you sign something on delivery?
The payment form said that we have to pay in full, and if anything was lost or damaged, we'd have to submit a claim in writing.
Okay, so it didn't say, I acknowledge everything is great.
No.
Okay, so now what?
So the moving guy, he was upstairs in the bedroom loading, it's a waterbed mattress. He was loading it onto the dolly. He came downstairs, and he said the mattress just burst. Like, all on its own, it just burst.
You mean there was water in it?
How can he move it with water in it?
They didn't attempt to drain it?
No, we had drained it.
Oh, and it burst, meaning no water got anywhere, right?
No,
okay.
It was drained.
When you say it burst, in other words, it ripped, right?
It ripped, and he said it ripped on its own, but when you look at it, it clearly was punctured.
Okay, so is that the only problem we're looking at right now, is that waterbed mattress?
Yeah.
Can't you just put a patch on it?
How old was it?
It was only 10 months old, and it was too big of a puncture to put a patch on it.
So how much is that mattress?
I went back to the store where we bought it, and they gave me a discount, so I got it for $327.
$327?
Uh-huh.
That's not bad. I mean, so these guys refuse to take responsibility.
Was it an out-of-state move?
No, it's Thornton to
Did she have insurance?
Yeah, did you take out the insurance?
Was insurance automatically?
No, the only automatic insurance.
How much did it weigh? You'll love this.
Is 65 cents a pound.
Yeah, so you take whatever it weighs times 65 cents, they probably owe you $18.
But you have somewhere on that you turned down insurance, I think, or you opted for, it's all in the contract. And I'm going to bet you, Diane, this happened to me moving, and I had a great company. I had a great company on my referral list, and something broke, and I swear to you, it wasn't worth putting in the claim because of the weight. Because I figured, listen, they dropped something, it broke, and I had denied I said, no, I don't want that insurance. And there was nothing I could do about it. I was pissed, but there was nothing I could do about it because it wasn't worth putting in a claim. So, and you're looking at that price range right in there where something is right in that price range where either you have the insurance or you don't. So what does your contract say about it? Or what did they say when you tried to put in a claim?
They will not respond to me by email or phone.
Well, that's not right. No matter what, that's not right. They just won't respond at all?
Right. I don't remember ever being offered any insurance.
Well, it's all on your contract. All of it. Every bit of it's on your contract. And if it's not, then they're going to owe you money. So if there is no limit of liability for damages, and I can't believe you haven't read it, but if you want to, send us over the contracts.
There's not really a contract. There was the final receipt.
You have no written contract at all.
No, he didn't even want to send me an
Well, then I think you're in the driver's seat. If you have no written contract at all, then they're responsible for it. Okay, so we're going to call them. They're responsible. If you have no written contract at all, then they tore it. You can sue them in small claims court and collect. Now you have to prove that it wasn't like that before they came and do that. But hold on, and we'll call them and say, pay up. Why not? Pay up. Robert, you have some questions. Whoops. Somehow, I don't know how that happened, but I disconnect in one fell swoop. I disconnected Robert. So, Robert, if you're listening, call back. And somebody get on that moving. Let's just see what they say. Drew, what's going on with you?
Yeah, I was sold a wrong starter.
By who?
Well, I don't want to mention their name on the radio.
Okay, hold on a second then. You were sold a wrong starter from an auto parts store?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and did a mechanic put it in, or did you?
No, I did.
All right, hold on. We'll talk about that and the responsibility you might have. That is a good topic. Hang on, Drew. If you got the wrong starter and they did it, was it their fault or yours? We'll talk about it coming up.
Sometimes that's the consumer's responsibility because they're doing their own work and they should know what's the right part or not. That's where it's going to be a problem.
This Saturday at noon on 630 KHAL. Visit lifecertain.com to discover the necessary financial planning for
Find
retirement.
out the true condition of your car with a free computer printout of all your major systems, the engine, tranny, electrical, brakes, and emissions. Then 15% off any repairs you want to do. Budget A1 transmission and auto repair. 303-781-9850. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan with credit optimization in order to get even better rates. They also have the pick your term loan. You may not want to go back to 30 years. Pick whatever term you want. If you refinance or you purchase and rates go down, they will refinance you free of all lender fees. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. Equal Opportunity Lender regulated by DORA. NMLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 844-45-IDEAL.
This is Denver's Talk Station. More with Martino after the news on 630 KNOW, an iHeart radio station. KHOW, Denver.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. President Trump tweeting that he's disbanding his Manufacturing Council and Strategic and Policy Forum. This coming after another resignation from his White House jobs panel. Denise Morrison, CEO of Campbell Soup, says she's quitting over recent comments about racism by the president. Morrison's the seventh person to resign from two major advisory panels this week. A Florida city now wants to distance itself from their Confederate past.
Atop the highest hill in the center of Pensacola stands a 30-foot monument.
Hey, do you know anything about the freaking Repair Act?
Now, Pensacola Mayor.
Well, if you have a car towed in, is that it? They can charge you whatever the fuck they want without an estimate. Okay, what is the rules on it? Because I'm reading up to $100. The way Tom reads it.
Baltimore removed 4 Confederate monuments overnight. Fox News.
Yeah, would you do that? Then call into the hotline so we can have you on the air. Bye.
The report is brought to you by LifeLock. Mostly cloudy with a high in the 70s. Tonight, partly cloudy and a low in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, it'll be partly cloudy with a high in the mid-80s. Friday, partly cloudy with a high in the upper 80s. With identity theft, what you can't see can hurt you. But LifeLock can actually see threats to your identity. Stuff you can miss by just monitoring your credit. If something happens, U.S.-based specialists can work to fix it. Go to LifeLock.com. Use promo code RISK, save 10%.
iHeartRadio has all of your favorite talk shows and all of your stations, all for free. iHeartRadio makes it so that I'm always with you, right in your pocket. I know that's weird, but you know what? Do it anyway. Take 630 KNOW with you wherever you go and never miss the Michael Brown Show. iHeartRadio keeps you connected.
Boy, I found a video review from a pissed off customer for Franklin Van Lines. Moved from Florida. Over 3 times the amount promised.
And you know my background is investing.
3 times.
So I wanted to bring
It seems like that's their MO.
Decision that could be a great thing for you. I'm talking about cutting back your mortgage term.
Mark, can we do advertising for the referrals on digital, like with a budget, and you really push it out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's start doing that.
We were waiting for the list to be done. And I just got rid of another huge bug I found last week, so.
How's the site been? Pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, it's solid. I haven't seen any issues for 4 or 5 days. You know, it was a big change. I mean,
thank God for you.
It can be a much better deal for you.
Yeah, but I kind of wish you found that stuff before, you know what I mean? Although I guess it's hard to go in and check 8,000 pages.
One call to their salary-based mortgage consultants, 303-695-7000, or go online at AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
American Financing has some of the best marketing people.
I was going to call them actually real soon for Springs. Skip pulled out of that.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
So I'm going to probably take off at 12:30.
Now, Tom
Whatever
Martino
works.
on 630 KNOW.
Hello, Tom Martino, your consumer advocate. If you're listening for the first time, welcome, and tell friends about it because there's strength in numbers. What we do is we reward the good people we hear on the air and then basically stay away from the bad guys. It's really the way to do it. It's really the way to do it. And we are so proud of our referral list, and truly it is the only referral list with teeth, where there is recourse, where we go after the bad guys and help you find the good guys and get things fixed. And we love doing it. We thank you for being part of this entire effort that we do each and every day. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
Hey, do you hunt and peck, or do you actually know how to type?
A little bit of both. I learned the QWERTY system when I was younger, way younger.
But you don't use it, do you?
Some and some not. It depends. I mean, I mostly just...
Hunt and peck.
Yeah, well, it's not hunt because I know where all the letters are. So
well, that's true. Peck.
It's pecking.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit of both. And then with the thumbs now, because of the texting...
People think you peck very angrily. Loud.
Has somebody said that?
Well,
they can hear me?
They said it about me, but they didn't realize it's generally you.
Oh, somebody also said they can hear me eating and drinking on the air. I never eat on
I
the air.
have never seen you eat on the air.
No, but I do drink on the air. Maybe they're hearing that.
We've had pizza during the show.
Could they have heard this? You know what I do a lot? I do this, what I'm doing. And if you're online, you'll see it. I do this a lot, see?
I don't even see you do that. You eat?
No, I chew on little pieces of paper towel.
That's something.
Well, you know why? Look what it's done.
Oh, you used to bite your nails?
My hands used to be bloody. Remember that?
God, I don't. Why do you
bite? Don't you remember, Suzanne? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it was terrible. So that's what I do. By the way, welcome, people. We're a family here. That's why we're talking like this. You're part of it. 303-713-TALK, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on iHeartRadio around the country, live on KHOW Radio, our flagship in Denver, and affiliates. So welcome. We want to help one and all. We recover literally millions of dollars a year in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. Now we're talking to Diane, and Diane says she hired a company to move, can't even get them to call back on a waterbed mattress. Now here's the bottom line. Oh, by the way, we have lines open, 303-713-TALK. Diane, we're going to call the company and try to get a hold of it, but if you don't have... Good.
Where does one buy?
If they don't have a contract...
A waterbed.
Oh, isn't Big Sur... Isn't Inomax, or was it a Big Sur?
It's a real
Is Big Sur around anymore? I don't even know. But Inomax has been around for years. So we do have someone from the moving company on, though. Hold on. And this is Ron. Oh, we really appreciate when a business is able to talk about this. Ron, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. This is about Diane. I don't know if you're familiar, if you got the case or not, if you had a chance to look at it. She basically said a move from Thornton to Littleton, and the only complaint we have right now is a waterbed mattress, she says, was ripped. And that's it, really. I mean, so here's what I said. Did you sign anything that would limit liability or ask you if you wanted additional insurance? And she said she did not sign anything. So that's what we're calling about. Did she sign anything? Hello? Is he here?
Dan, what did this guy sound like? What
is he on?
There.
Hello? I can't hear. If he's...
Put him on hold, Tom. I'll try to...
Ron? Okay, I'll put him on hold. Dan, what's he all about? Did he know he was coming on the air?
Yeah, he knew he was coming on the air. He didn't really want to come on at first, and then I told her, hey, they're talking about it.
We're just looking for... We're looking for the
second side.
Listen, we don't jump to conclusions unless forced to. No, we never jump to conclusions.
So what did he sound
unless
like?
we have facts.
He didn't sound real happy about it. He just said, hey, she signed the contract. It's all resolved.
I'd like to see it. I mean, it's very easy. If she signed a contract... But hold on.
The insurance.
Let's talk to Drew, because Drew said we left off with Drew. He installed a starter that I think did some damage because it was the wrong starter. Now, Drew, I want to warn you: whenever someone takes on upon themselves to do their own repairs, there's a certain liability you take on as well for the parts.
Yeah, I understand that.
All right, so give us the circumstances.
Yeah, I went to the parts store, and the counter person came out to the car, verified it as a correct starter, and I put the starter on.
Oh, wait. So the person came out to look at your car and then gave you the starter that goes with it?
Right.
Oh, you didn't ask for a particular number or anything?
Oh, no, I told him what it was for, a Toyota automatic transmission.
I understand, and they came out and looked.
Yeah, and I said, well, it doesn't look really right. And he said, well, let's go out and look. And so we went out to the car.
Yeah, why did you say it didn't look right? I don't even know what a starter looks like. I mean, what for a particular car?
Well, the little thing on the top was a little shorter.
Okay.
But the main starter that hits the flex plate was about the same size.
So he went out and said, nope, this is the one, and you bought it.
Right.
And you removed the other one, put this one on.
But there's more to it.
What is more?
When I was at the counter, well, he came out with the top of the box was real dusty, and then when he took it out of the box, he was covering it. And I noticed that I don't know, you don't call it a pigtail or something, but the big fat wire, which is about 6 gauge, it had grease in it. And and you could see little tap marks had been repainted. It was a used starter that was rebuilt, and it was for the wrong year car. But the thing is I came back later that night when it damaged my flex plate, and here comes the brand new starter with no box. So the guy at the counter then about 10 o'clock at night was
what difference does all this make? Either you got the right starter or the wrong one. What does all this mean?
No, I'm saying the guy took a starter out of the rebuild stack, took the new starter out of the box, and put the rebuild one in the box.
You generally, even from a parts store, they're generally all rebuilt.
But who cares is what I'm saying.
This was a factory rebuild, and then there was a crummy rebuild.
Drew, if you saw him do that, why did you buy it?
I know that these guys are kind of shady,
Drew,
and I needed it.
Drew, it's a very simple question. Hold on one sec. Just 1 second, okay? I just need to do something. It's a very simple question, and that is this. If you saw this guy, you're buying a starter, and you saw him take it out and put a rebuilt one in it, why did you buy it?
I didn't see him do that. No, I didn't. I'm just assuming.
Well, okay.
Well, that's a hell of an assumption.
Drew, hold on. Let's just get to the problem. Let's just get to the problem. What's wrong?
It damaged the flex plate.
Okay, now, is the starter that you bought the one that he walked out to the car with and showed you?
The first time, yes.
Okay, so you bought the starter that he recommended, and you put it in. Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's all I want to know. So they did, according to you, recommend the wrong starter, but you did your own work. Now, here's what they're going to say.
Okay.
Well, they're going to say, well, Drew should have known better. So what would you say to that argument if they say that?
I would say it was reboxed.
No, I'm not talking about rebuy. I'm talking about the starter itself. You should have known better when you saw the starter, when you took it out of the box. Why did you put it in? You easily could have seen the old one, and you had the new one in your hand. A mechanic would have stopped right there. Why did you keep going?
Oh, I'm not a mechanic.
Okay, so
they're pretty much it bolted right up. I mean,
okay, I get you. That's what I'm going to ask you. It bolted right up. So were the changes or were the differences minute? Were they little differences, like in the length of the throw?
No. It was where the gear. It had a little neck.
The starter gear flies out into your wheel.
The bendix.
Right.
So
but it has kind of like a little turtleneck.
So the throw must have been off because it didn't fully engage. It ruined your gears?
It ruined the flex plate.
Now that I don't understand.
The flex...
it took teeth off of it. Is that what you're saying?
No, he's not talking about his ring gear, are you?
The starter...
the starter turns...
The flex plate hit that little turtleneck, which the right one doesn't have that little turtleneck.
Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, so anyway, bottom line, what will they do for you?
Well,
what do you want them to do?
Well, I'm out of pocket $145.
Why?
Well, the cost of the starter, a ride to go get my van and tools.
No, I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about how much damage did it do?
It damaged the flex plate.
How much does that cost?
$990.
Wow. So $990 to fix that flex plate.
It's basically like a flywheel.
I have an estimate for that.
So that's what he's talking about, the ring gear, the flywheel?
Well, there is a difference, but it's the same thing.
Okay, but that's what he has instead of that.
Yes.
Okay. So $990, and did you already fix your car?
No. It's making a really weird noise.
I don't know. This is a good question. Are they responsible? I would say probably not, but I don't know. I mean, what if you rely on them? And is there a sign anywhere in that store that says we can't be held responsible, or on the receipt or something? I don't know. What about auto parts stores? It's a good question.
I'll tell you this.
Wait.
Well, hold on a second.
Hold on. Let him say it first. What?
When I returned the starter and got the correct one, the one that I think that was originally in that box, the counter person wrote on there, on the receipt, which I have, and I faxed it to you or emailed it to you, that I was sold the wrong starter originally and damaged. And
okay, so you're not out the money for the starter because they replaced it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the only thing you're out right now, Drew, the only thing I want to pare it right down to the problem. The only thing you're looking for right now is the damage. All right, you already have the right starter. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you're looking for the damage. Is that unreasonable or not? What were you going to say now, Mark? You said...
Well, I try to look at it as a broad view. If every auto parts store that sells oil filters or sells anything had to do all the damage that people do their own work for, we would have no auto parts stores.
No, they don't have to do all of them, but what if they do the recommending is what I'm saying. Is that, now, listen to this. I've actually had guys go to an auto mechanic, and the mechanic would say, you need a water pump or you need a starter. They go and replace it by themselves, a DIY, and it turns out they didn't need it, and they want to sue the mechanic for saying it. Now, that you can't do, but what about an auto parts store? I'm asking people listening,
the biggest
is it reasonable to assume the responsibility?
Well, the biggest problem he's going to have is he's got this assumption they switched something out of the box, so he brought the right box. They gave him the right box, but the wrong part. But yet he didn't see it happen. He assumed it happened.
No, but
how would you prove that?
That part doesn't matter.
Well, okay, then you're saying the defective part they would be required to pay damages for. That would go to the manufacturer.
I'm saying that they had a responsibility to sell him the right part.
They did.
Maybe.
They did sell him the right part in that box and on the receipt. He's saying they took a different starter, put it in the right box, and then that's what caused the problem.
Well, I don't know. Did the original box that you bought have the correct part number on it?
I don't think so.
No.
Because the guy that wrote on here sold wrong starter on the thing, he said it was reboxed.
It doesn't see, and that part doesn't matter. Here's the only thing that matters. Did they sell you the right one or the wrong one, and do they have responsibility? I don't care what box it's in, unless, as Mark said, it was in the correct box, and the correct part number was on the box. If that happened, then I think the auto store is even less to blame, and you'd have to go up the line to whoever sold it to him, right, Mark? I mean, if it was in a different box. Now, but I don't want to go there. You don't have the money or the time to do this. Nobody's going to step forward and pay the $900 to you. Not even the auto parts store. You're going to have to sue them in small claims court, or we're going to call them, and by some miracle, they're going to say, yeah, we recommended the wrong one. He has it on his receipt. Let's try it. Let's try it. Ray, you have some good news you want to tell us about. What is it?
Yes, I went on your referral list and went to Patriot Pros to get my furnace checked, and they checked their dust, and he kind of went through everything and explained what he was doing, and that was great. And I also I have a small little business in my shop, and I asked them to check that one out, and it's a hanging heater, a 60,000 BTU. And I says, you know, can you check it out, make it sure? He goes, he's not going to turn it on because he looked in it, and it had 3 major cracks in it.
Wow.
If I would have turned that on, I wouldn't be here in the winter, this coming winter. And just kudos to them for, I don't know, add that to your tally. What my life is worth, but
wow.
I would have died.
You know what? I'm so happy that you called in to tell us about that, because I tell people now, get your heaters checked out now, and thank you for that, Ray, because it is important. Get them checked now when you're not in dire need of them, and then if there is something wrong, you can have a clear head when working on it. But thank you, Ray.
I keep thinking about this. I don't think that parts store has any liability. They sold him a part, even if it was the wrong part. If I buy the wrong TV from Walmart, and then I pay someone to come out, install it on my wall, hook it up, do everything else, and then find out it's a 54-inch, not a 55-inch or whatever, Walmart's not going to pay for anything, any subs.
No.
You know what I'm saying.
Yes.
I don't see
damage.
And he should have checked out and made sure it was the right part. He took on the role of being a technician or a mechanic.
And a good mechanic would have known, I think, unless it was so minute, the changes, that I might be pissed too. Think about it now.
I'm not saying I wouldn't be pissed.
I don't know. Like if I said I need a starter and they came out to the car and picked one, that's when it would bother me. By the way, let's talk about this the refinance business. It's going crazy. Rates are still low, thank goodness. And what I want you to know is it isn't always wise to go to 30 years again, especially if you paid off your loan. And that's the good news about Ideal. So, Brent, tell us about the custom term loan.
Well, you know, as you and I have discussed, this came to be simply out of, we've helped thousands of clients since we've been in business in 2001. And as we went back to our own clients over the last couple of years with the low rates that we've seen, we heard again and again that, yeah, I would love to take advantage of interest rates, but I'm 6 years into my loan, I'm 7 years into my loan, I don't want to add that all back on and start over, and I don't want to go to a shorter term mortgage because my payment's going to go up. What they really needed was a custom term mortgage where you, whatever you had left, whether it's 23 years, 17 years, or 12 years, and take advantage of the lower rates we're seeing right now, lower your monthly payment, so you save that way, but then you still stay on track and don't add those years back to your current home loan.
Exactly. You still get that lower payment. You still get that lower interest, I mean, for sure. And here's the deal. Ideal wants to make sure you're in an ideal situation when you do refinance or buy. That's why it's called Ideal Home Loans. They seriously take a look at your situation and put you in a better situation. That's the most important thing, whether it's with rate or payment or term. And then they have the interest rate guarantee. Don't forget that. If rates go down, they'll refinance you. And you can call them for details. 303-867-7000. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. And of course, what do we need loans for? Well, you know, buying real estate, of course. Very seldom do people pay cash for that, right? If you're looking to buy, whether you're paying cash or you're going to pay a down payment or no down payment, Frank Duran, the real estate man, can show you all kinds of houses, from the fix and flippers to the dream home, and he can also list yours. Frank has statistics to show that he sells his homes for more money and at a shorter time than the average. And Frank also has teams to help you buy or teams to help you sell. And whatever it is, he'll never stick you with a long-term contract because he knows he has to earn your business every day. And he guarantees that you'll be happy or you can get out of it. And no one ever does. 303-920-1622, FrankDuran,
This report is brought to you by Boost.
Big delays on the north end of town on I-25, both north and southbound I-25, slowing the approach to 100.
Oh, these pricks. What? Sirius XM. Every time it renews, I thought I set this in my calendar.
I'm going to be tinnitus, okay? Southbound I-25 there near
God, I hate these asses. Now I got to call them up. They'll refund it. They'll refund my $204, and they'll turn around and charge me the normal rate of $50.
Then I'm taking you off for my follow-up doctors. He'll do the rest.
Right now, mostly cloudy and 70.
He's got to get his third eye done.
6:30, 15. It's to Boost. And get 2 lines with 3 gigs of 4G LTE data.
When you're looking for some place to go for hearing treatment, whether it be for tinnitus or a hearing loss, you want to know someone who's been in the business a long time. You also want to know people who have been in that area of business. In other words, not just someone who says they do tinnitus treatment, but people who have pioneered it. You also want a caring attitude and a comfortable surrounding. You also want the ability to try things out without having to buy it right away. You get all of those things with Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. Yes, you can try out the hearing aids, you can try out tinnitus treatment. What you have to do is call for details. Dr. Patty and Dr. Lisa are dedicated to helping you with your hearing problems, no matter what they are. Some people have hearing losses, some people have profound hearing losses, others have tinnitus, and some have both. 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. And their website, helpforringing.com.
I knew you were down to your spot. So one of my folks called in, my frequent callers, said Carnival Cruise had a class action suit, and they lost, I guess, or whatever. But apparently they did a bunch of robocalls. You get $300 per call. So all you have to do is put your phone number in and see if your phone number was called. And if so, he said he got $300. His friend got a $900 check. It's called. He said just Google the Carnival Cruise class action suit or lawsuit, and you'll see all about it.
Yeah, but if you're never on their cruise, right?
Oh, it was a robocall. They were robocalls. Get $300 a pop.
But we did Pro Auto, So the only one left right now is Raleigh House and Denver Spine. Or, you know, you only have 2 spots.
Are you leaving?
Yeah, in a couple minutes. I just want to.
Oh, you're leaving. You're leaving.
I want to make a smooth transition, make 1 or 2 calls, and literally just leave. I don't want to just disappear now.
Of savings sale, you'll pay no interest or payments till 2019. Every American-made Champion window is installed using expert craftsmen and features Champion's exclusive Comfort 365 glass.
I get so pissed at how serious bills. I just fucking hate it.
Why? What is wrong with it?
They just...
You're going to want scrap paper, right?
Yeah, I don't care.
So here's your pen. Here's your box.
You got another break in 5 seconds or 5 minutes?
No, I'm just going to take a call and kind of transition.
No, I'd say, do we have another break? Are you early or are you late?
Is this the 15 break? Yeah, it is. So we only have 2 more spots, though.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so I'll take it on next break. I got confused.
Some might consider this thought less than rational because knee replacement is major surgery with all the problems, including infections and
long stories about that.
pain caused by an arthritic knee and
Tim?
solution other than surgery. Not alone, but the key to getting
This is answer the guy that hang out. He's an ass.
Who is?
That's Ron Ferguson. Ron Ferguson, the guy, he's an ass. He was an ass to Suzanne, and when, he didn't really want to come on, but
I think she can still win because I'll bet you they don't have a contract.
You really don't think so?
I don't know. Some of these people don't. They're really loosey-goosey.
The osteo relief method can put the spring back in your step. Thousands are set provided.
Man, I hope I can fly.
The Osteo Relief Institute. So call.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's looking so forward to that. He doesn't want to stop talking about it. He really wants you there. I mean, really, really.
Worst case scenario, the other trick I was going to tell him. Oh, we're on.
Or you can drive.
No, we're on. I was going to say something.
you want me to take it off?
Yeah, it's not working. No, co-pilot. Friend. Make it legal.
There you go.
I can still fly.
Do you have somebody?
Yeah. As long as we can find him a place to stay.
You know, he'd drive up there. You're not flying with him. Because he's got to be there early in the morning.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, we do have Bob, the car guy. Bob, are you there? Whoops, sorry, wrong one. Bob, are you there, sir?
Morning, I'm here.
Hey, we had a question for you on the Auto Repair Act. It depends on where you read the summary, but it seems to indicate that if you drop your car off after hours or have it towed in, that you waive your right to the estimate, to the written estimate.
That's not correct.
What is correct?
Basically, you have the shop can do up to $100 of work.
Was there? Hold on, just
after hours.
Okay, did it? Okay, but you don't waive your right to an estimate.
Correct. If the law is
then why does it say that in the law?
Well, it doesn't. I can read you the law. It says the required written consent is waived by the customer only when the motor vehicle has been towed to the facility or the customer has left the vehicle.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It does say that they waive it.
Next sentence. The waiver established by this paragraph for any vehicle that is towed or left with the motor vehicle outside of normal business hours is limited to a maximum of $100 for all labor and parts. That's the statute.
Okay, but then it's limited. Until when?
For $100.
Until when? Forever?
Until the
approval. Okay, but they still don't have to give them a written estimate. They waive the written estimate. They have to get verbal approval
up to $100.
Over $100, they have to get verbal. What I'm telling you is, you waive your right to the written estimate if it's dropped off or towed in. That's the way I read it. I'm not going to argue about it because I might be wrong, but that's the way it never says beyond that. Then he has to give you a written estimate. It says he has to get your approval for over 100. That I didn't know, by the way. That's new to me. But the other part is the part that confuses me is then from there on out you're still verbal because I never see where they have to write it down.
That goes into the second part of the act when it talks about additional work.
Yeah, and in additional work, Bob, then they have to call you and then they get your approval. They have to put down the time, the date, the manner in which you gave approval, and the phone number you called from, right? Or the number they called?
No, right. That's part of it. But let's clarify what the law actually says. Sorry for the dog.
No, go ahead. I don't care. Go.
Get you off it. All right. When the customer has not given the vehicle facility consent Written consent, no repairs shall be performed unless the facility first communicates orally, but they still have to write it down. The statute requires first that it be posted in the facility that the provisions of the Motor Vehicle Repair Act. So that's where a lot of shops screw up, because I'd bet you half
they don't even have it posted. But Bob, the part, I get what you're saying, but the part where it says they waive, what does it say about waiving again? Can you read that one little paragraph again?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get it.
Just that one little paragraph, because that's the part that I think...
the dog. Okay. When the customer has not given the motor vehicle repair facility written consent to perform repairs, no repairs shall be performed.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the part where you waive it.
100.
By leaving it, dropping it off.
Oh, by dropping it off?
Yeah, say that.
I'll read the waiver
just
established by this paragraph for any vehicle that is towed or dropped off outside of normal business hours is limited to a maximum of $100.
I understand that, but before that, read right before that where it says the consumer waives.
The required written consent is waived by the customer only when the vehicle has been towed or the customer has left the vehicle with the facility outside of normal business hours, or when the customer has signed a waiver in compliance with the section.
Now that's even more confusing to me, because it says nothing about a written estimate.
Yeah, but it does under. Then it clarifies that next paragraph as saying, if this happens, then it's limited to this.
But here's the bottom line. You really, if you're an auto repair facility, the obligation is on you if you're going substantially over that invoice, or they can screw you.
I agree with Bob so much in this. Most shops, and I hate to say it, I bet even some on our referral list, don't do everything perfectly because they're honest guys and they don't think consumers are going to try to screw them. But I bet most shops don't do everything that law says to do.
And I've spent a lot of money on repairs for buying vehicles over the last 20-plus years, and I can guarantee you're right.
All right, thank you, Bob. Hold on a sec. You might have a comment on this guy, Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
Hey, Tom. How are you doing?
Good. What's happening?
I have an auto insurance question that's probably pretty common.
Yeah.
My wife was rear-ended a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And the person that hit her from behind caused the four-car accident. She was the first one hit at about 30 to 40 miles per hour.
Was the car totaled?
Yeah, her insurance actually called 2 days later and admitted fault, I was quite surprised. Okay, and so they did end up totaling it. And my question gets down to the reimbursement. Okay, I thought it was low, and they told me the only thing they do is take the Kelley Blue Book, and that's it. And there's nothing else I can do.
You got to get comps on it. I mean, Bob, that's the best way to do it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I've helped people do hundreds of these over the years. Yeah, there's no such thing as you just use Kelley Blue Book.
I'll tell you how egregious some of these can be, Brian. It's absolutely insane. We had one totaled. Someone else hit us. The first offer they gave us, the other insurance company, was $16,000. After I did my due diligence and I found out what I could buy them for around town, I ended up getting over $23,000. Think of the difference on that. I got almost a third more, if not more, a third more.
And you
okay, so you think I should just appeal it? Because I looked around.
Actually, hold on a second. That's true. I did call you on that one, didn't I, Bob?
That's correct.
Yeah, keep going, Brian.
Okay, so I looked around at dealers, and I only found one in Montrose Delta area. It's an older car, and it was a lot lower mileage. I take really good care of my cars. This car had 345,000 miles on it.
But, Brian, it still all comes down to the comps. If you can only find one comp, well, I guess there's only one of those cars. I find that hard to believe, though. What kind of car was it?
It's a 2000 Avalon XLE.
Yeah, I don't know, Bob. Is that like some rarity here?
No.
I'm sure he can find them. What do you usually, Bob, what would you charge someone to get it? Would you just take a percentage of whatever you get over?
No, I don't. I just do it as courtesy.
Why don't you? Would you do that, and then Brian report back to us how much Bob helped you out with this?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
I'm happy to do it, but that's a generic car. I mean, I love old cars, but yeah, I mean, a 2000 Avalon with 300,000 miles, that's going to be real simple. There may be $100 or $200 difference in valuation.
What are they offering now?
Well, when I told them, they offered $1,700. And then when I told them I was going on a consumer radio show today, they said they'd bump it up to $1,900.
Hey, what was the insurance company, by the way?
Of the company of the insured that hit us?
Yeah.
Is that okay to say it on that? It's State Insurance.
State? State or State Farm?
No, State. I'd never heard of it either.
I've never heard of it. I mean, who cares? Oh, I guess I was thinking that I was wondering if it was the same one I dealt with.
But
that was all.
They found a comp that they said, but they never said where they found it. Was it in the rust belts of the East or what? I found one in Colorado. That's the only one I found that was for sale. So they took it off their comp, not the one that I had found. The one that I found was right at about $5,000
for 2,000 with 300,000 miles. Again, I've been doing this for over 40 years. That surprises me, and I mean that would be hard to argue. But I'm looking real quick while we're talking. So go ahead, Mark.
I'm just telling you what I found. Yeah. So that's really my question is, I lost.
Well, that's it. Just call him. I mean, I'm actually losing my mind talking about this anymore. So give Bob a call. I'm going to give Bob. I'm just going to give your number off air, okay?
Yeah, I can email him the number.
Yeah, that's
it. I can email Brian.
It all comes down to comps, Brian. I mean, it's as simple as that. There's nothing more simple in the world. The insurance company is basically going to try to screw you and give you the least amount of money they possibly can, and that's how it works. Okay, listen. I want to talk about these guys. It's the Raleigh House, and Tom and I went out there and met these guys. They're addiction specialists. They accept insurance. But one of the main things we've heard from lots of people over the years is that they do have a family member, they do have a friend, they have somebody they know in their life that's addicted to opiates. I mean, these painkillers are out of control. Now, they deal with all kinds of addictions down there, but, right now, it's amazing. More people died last year for one of the first times ever, in fact, I think it was the first time ever, died from opiates or, overdoses, addiction, than died from car accidents across the country, which is absolutely amazing. Here's what I like about these guys. If you call up, the first words out of their mouth is not, hey, what insurance company, it's going to be this much, blah, blah, blah. They actually care. They actually deal with you. They're intake people. The people that will answer your questions when I give this phone number out are wonderful people. Most of them have been through an addiction and got through it in their lifetime. So they know what's going on. They've been where the people are, and they can tell you how to talk to your relatives and friends that have a problem, because most likely you're going to be calling to talk about somebody else. Now, if you are an addict and you want to call directly, that's great too. Like I said, a lot of these people have been there before. But give them a call. A lot of these things don't just come down to money. They do really come down to people that care, people that have been there, and people that want to change this kind of opiate addiction across the country. But it's the Raleigh House. It's 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. 5559. I'm going to give it one more time. You must know someone out there that does need help. You can have them call, but the best thing is how to deal with them, how to deal with the spouse, the kid, the parent, whatever it is. Give them a call, 720-893-5559.
This report is brought to you by American Financing.
Big delays on the north end of town on I-25, both north and southbound I-25, slowing the approach to 136. Crews are doing some repairs.
And then I can do the last one in the next break, right?
Both sides of the highway, so watch out for that. Also adding to the trouble.
That is correct, senor.
This lady, this guy for the Richard's wife has cancer. Medical bill. That medical bill, $45,000. He had sent an email here. He wanted us to read this letter.
What are you talking about? Say it again.
Line one.
Medical bill, $45K.
So he had sent an email.
Yeah.
With his wife wrote a letter to the thing. He wanted us to
wrote a letter. I don't understand what you're talking about, Dan.
So he had sent an email where his wife had written a letter to Anschutz.
Over what, though?
This getting charged for this cancer and stuff.
I can't believe he left me with the fucking scripts down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, I've got no phone numbers. I got nothing. And now, of course, I can't log into my freaking email.
Okay, sorry about that.
Hold on. Shit, I'm going to end up getting locked out of my email over this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm fucked. I can't get to any information. I mean, it totally locked out of my commercials. I guess whoever I'm doing next, I need the phone number too, please. Yes. Yes. Yeah, but I need the name. Like, what is it called? I forget totally because they go by like 50 names. Ay, ay, ay! Tom! Tom! He closed out all our phone numbers
for spots, so I got to get them back up. Someone please work on that while we're gone. If you listen in on Facebook, I might have went a little overboard, but anyhow, listen, 720. I almost just, I'll tell you how flustered I am right now. You realize what I almost just did? Does anybody know what I almost just gave out?
Your own cell phone number.
My own cell phone number. I swear to God, I almost just gave out my cell phone number for people to call. That would have been crazy. Now, what would be crazier is if I give Tom's cell phone number out. Someone please, what is this? CNN for Kids. What is this? Mike, what are you talking about, CNN for Kids?
Yes, Mark, it's a 30-second rant. My daughter just started 6th grade this week, and I am blessed with, actually cursed, with her school promoting this program. It's a 20 or 30 minutes of, it's called CNN for Kids.
What is it, though?
And it's basically propaganda. It's a Department of Education in agreement with CNN put on these...
well, kids need fake news, too.
Yeah, kiddie fake news, and you know,
do they offer? Do they talk about like free lunch and you know, free movies on Friday and stuff like that?
No, they lay social justice in there. Last year, it had a slant in favor of Hillary Clinton. It has a slant towards the left and liberalism. But
I've never heard of this.
The fact that, look it up. You can go to CNNforkids.com and you can see the type of programming. And I guess like yesterday's program was so violent, they didn't actually show it in class.
What do you mean so violent?
It was violent, that it was inappropriate for 5th and 6th graders.
I get you.
Yeah, so the thing is...
Mike, I don't know. We're really not a political show, but I get you. They're slanting one way. I'd have to see it. I'd have to see it if it really slants.
It's for the parents and the grandparents that listen to your programming that have children that, you know, are care enough to...
so they know what's happening.
It shouldn't have CNN in the name. If they're going to create this type of educational programming, it shouldn't have CNN or Fox.
How old are you, Mike?
44.
Man, you're my age. I remember right in about that grade. It might have been 8th grade or 7th grade. They pulled us all into the cafeteria. I was in middle school. And the space shuttle was taken off, and there was a teacher on it for the first time.
Krista McCullough.
That's right. And we were all, I mean, the entire school was there in the lunch or the cafeteria, and this thing took off and blew up. It was insane.
January 28, 1986.
Yeah, our teachers had no idea what to do. I mean, do we turn it off? How do we talk about it? I mean, it was crazy, man.
Yes. And I just, you know, I just care enough that I think that the programming should not be led by CNN or Fox
Have
News
you
or
seen it
MSNBC.
yourself? It might not be as slanted as you think. Like I said, there's fake news for everybody. Thank you, Mike. I do appreciate that. I'm not going to talk about CNN for Kids much longer. Please tell me about this line 1, Dan. You were attempting to do so.
He wrote a letter. His wife wrote a letter to Ann Schutz, and I know she wanted to read. He wanted us to read that, so that's what I was going to try to email you. I think Suzanne's going to print it out.
What do you mean they wrote a letter? Okay, I'll just go to it. Richard, what's going on?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's happening, Richard? It sounds horrible. Your wife has cancer.
This is what happened. My wife was diagnosed with cancer in January and had it removed, but the process of it, they wanted first $47,000 in a cashier's check, otherwise we couldn't do any surgery. And
so it wasn't, I mean, it wasn't immediate and life-threatening. It's not like she came in on an ambulance and had to have this done.
Well, the way they did everything, it seemed to be that way. My wife is half Native American, so she has Native care for her medical, and that, of course, got exhausted before even the surgery showed up. Because she had to have transfusions because she was anemic, and that was the tumor causing that.
So, but Richard, do you guys not have insurance? You just said that she was Native American. I thought they had kind of their own policies.
Well, they do, but it's not the greatest thing.
Okay, so it doesn't cover, but does it not cover this? I mean, did the hospital say we don't accept this kind of insurance, or it doesn't cover this, or what?
They took everything, and then that was it that we could do.
So was that your copay, that $45K they wanted up front?
No, that was what they wanted. It was $47,000 they wanted to do the surgery first.
Okay.
Then we did some thing about our finances, and they came up with 46% of it. And they said it was a charity thing that they paid for. So
okay.
That means now around almost $45,000 that they want us to pay for, that we kept telling them we can't pay for it. And they were said, don't worry about it. It's like, well, we have to.
Suzanne, I really think this is one we should just send directly to John over at Integra. I mean, I'm not quite sure. Richard, what ultimately is the issue? I mean, in a nutshell, what are you asking for?
The issue is that my wife had a month to wait to get
is she okay now?
Medicare. Yeah, for the most part,
well,
she's doing a lot better.
Listen, you say she had a month to wait because she had to sign up for Medicare, right?
No, she wanted to wait another month before the surgery because then her Medicare would have at least kicked in.
Okay.
And they, no, we got to do it now. We got to do it now. And it's like, okay. So they didn't go out of the hospital to get a second opinion from anybody. Just everyone in there just, no, we got to do it now. Said, well,
okay, hold on. I'm not sure where to go with this. I mean, honestly, in fact, let's do this, Suzanne. Put him directly in touch with Integra. I mean, I'm not sure what he's asking for. I'm not set up. The show's not set up to help with when a doctor says it needs to be done now and he wants the hospital and shoots to go somewhere else and get second opinions. I mean, if the doctor's saying, hey, we need to do this now, who am I to argue with the doctor? I mean, at some point you forget about the money. I mean, if they're willing to do it, they're going to do it. They have money up front. Whatever happened, I mean, I'm not quite sure what he wants. So unless if he wants to put it down, let's have him call. Let's have him call directly over to John Integra. I mean, he's helped so many people out with insurance issues and bills and everything else. It's incredible. You know, speaking of doctors and stuff, though, these stem cells that Tom's getting in his back have helped him so much, it's incredible. He used to complain about his back all the time. I don't think I've heard one peep out of him for probably well over 3, 4, 5 months. And he started getting stem cell shots. Yeah, it's very cool. They go in there and basically regenerate, and his back simply doesn't bother him anymore. It's not like, you know, it works for everybody, but it definitely works for Martino. And I got to tell you, we've had a lot of people call in it works for. So here's how these guys set it up, Stem Cell Institute of America. They actually explain exactly what they're going to do, how the process works, what to expect, how much it costs, and they do it for free at these seminars. And they have these seminars all the time around Denver Metro and everywhere else on the planet. So what I suggest you do, if you've heard about stem cells, you think it's right for you, or you just want to figure out if it's right for you, you give them a call, you go to the free seminar. There, you know, there's no issue in figuring out the information, and you sit down, you do it. In fact, we have a caller going in this Saturday. I talked to you yesterday. But Stem Cell Institute of America, call up, figure out when you can get down there, but it's 855-262-4040, 855-262-4040. Knee problems, back problems, shoulder problems. I'm telling you, it could change your life. It did for Tom on his back. 855-262-4040.
This report is brought to you by Lifeline.
Trouble's up north and trouble's off highway on Federal. Let's go up north where there's construction.
I agree with you. I sent him an email and just said, hey, you know, call on in, but I don't know what he wants.
Oh, keep your mic off. You said you had it on again. I don't know.
I didn't turn it on.
Well, that's what he just said.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I don't know what this guy wants. I mean, did you talk to him?
No, I sent an email. What I think he wants after him talking there is that why didn't they have him wait for 2 months so they didn't owe this kind of money?
Yeah, but I mean, if the doctor says you got to get it done now, I mean, what do you do, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't know what to say about healthcare. It's so foobarred,
yes.
man. I mean, what do you do?
He's saying that I think he thinks they
okey-doked him. I don't think the doctors, honest to God, don't think doctors go, oh, he's not going to have insurance for a month, so let's bill him now so we never get paid. I mean, really, that would be the decision they make.
Right.
Let's not get paid and force him into bankruptcy. And I don't think doctors even think about it. It's not like they make a percentage of whatever the hospital bills out, although maybe they do.
But I mean, on this here, they also charged the doctor separately, so they said it was going to be $50,000 total, and then they had another $27,000.
But that's every place you ever, it's any hospital you go to. And if he had an anesthesiologist that was outside of it, guess what? He's going to get a bill by them.
Right.
The only thing that covers is basically nurses in the emergency services.
But I think they say now is he wishes they would have waited. They would have been under Medicare.
What?
If they would have waited 2 months, they would have been under Medicare.
Well, and why weren't they under Medicare?
She wasn't 65 yet.
Oh, I'm thinking Medicaid. I'm thinking they just didn't sign up till she had a problem.
No.
I don't know why she couldn't have jumped on. Nah, whatever. All right, 303-713-8255.
Matthew's got an issue. Matthew, what's going on, man?
Hey, how are you today?
Good. What's up?
Wait, hello?
Yes, what's up, Matthew? How can I help you?
Okay, sorry, my Bluetooth. Anyways, I bought a camper
about
2 months ago. When I bought it, I didn't, it's my mistake. The title, still, the woman hadn't put it in her own name yet.
So she was either attempting to skip title or whatever, so keep going.
So anyways, I bought it, and I can't get plates for it.
So what happens when you try to get plates? When she signed the title over from the other, I assume she had the title physically or no?
Yeah, no, she has the title. But
and she just never put her name down on it?
Correct.
Okay, so did she fill out your name or did you?
I did, yes.
Okay, so what's the problem? You bring it to DMV, what do they say?
They're saying that she has to take ownership of it.
How? Okay, Matthew, I understand they would say that, but how did they know that? Did you tell them the circumstance?
Well, it's got the other people's name in it who don't live in this county.
Okay, Matthew, here's what I'm saying. She had the title, right?
Yes.
And the title, basically, it was owned by whoever she bought it from.
Correct.
And they sold it to her, but they left it blank.
Well, she put her name down.
Oh, well, okay, then there's nothing you can do. She's going to have to title it, and whatever fees those are going to be, she's going to have to pay it. I mean, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Okay, so the bottom line is she's been extremely uncooperative to the point...
How much are we talking?
Well, right now, as far as I understand, what Motor Vehicles has told me is they just want her to come in there. She'll pay, and I told her I'd pay.
No, Matthew, that's not my question, though. How much did you pay her for this?
Oh, I paid $3,000.
Well, I'd take her to small claims court and sue her. Do you guys have a contract or a receipt?
Yeah, I have
it's going to be it's going to be breach of contract. You sue her for $3,000. That's going to make her get up there, and I'd sue her for more than that. I'd sue her for like $4,000. But that's going to hopefully make her wake up and meet you down at DMV.
Okay, so and any other, so for the moment it's August.
If her name is in that box and she never went down and got a new title where her name would be under the ownership, not the buyer, the only way you're going to get it done is exactly what DMV is telling you. But you just go sue her. I mean, it's simple as that. I mean, small claims court's $55, Matthew. It's not a ton of money. Go down, you have her name, you have her address, you have everything, and if you want us to serve her for you, we'll go ahead and serve her. I've got people around that'll do it, but it's going to cost you $55, and really all it's going to do is going to make her wake up. She's got to deliver title. You guys have a receipt or a contract, this amount of cash for this product, and she hasn't delivered clean title to that product yet. It's a slam dunk. You just got to wake her up, and you're saying she won't do anything.
She will not.
Well, this will make her do it. You understand the steps now, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
man. One last quick question. Okay, is there anything I can do to get a temp tag or something so I can use my camper?
That's completely up to DMV. You're going to have to plead your case with them. They can do it if they want to, but, you know, if it was a dealer, the dealer could actually do it, but if DMV won't give it to you, no, there isn't.
Okay.
I mean, you could risk having the old plate on there, but, I mean, you know, that's a risk you would take. But that's it, man. But get her sued. I mean, I don't know why she's not... I don't know why she's not cooperating over something so easy. Maybe call her back up, tell her you're going to sue her unless she meets you. I mean, it's only $55 though. Tyler, why were you denied a rental car?
Well, they said due to value. You know, we reserved it on the 24th of July.
Yeah.
For August 18th. So we gave them that much warning, and
who was it?
Call us 2 days before. Enterprise.
Well, that's kind of weird. I mean, you're not like under 25, are you?
No, sir.
Okay, so you basically reserved it. You weren't denied the fact... Okay, I thought you meant they weren't letting you personally rent it. You're saying you showed up to get the car and it wasn't there.
They called us today, 2 days before we depart for Nebraska for a big vacation for us. That we reserved rooms, lots of money, lots of time, and things invested.
Yeah. So why did they say you can't go, though?
They just said that due to high volume, they have nothing available for us, even though it was available for all this time from the time we reserved it to now.
Yeah, I think it sucks. You called up on the 24th of July, and here we are on, you know, August 18th or August 16th. You have a reservation. They tell you 2 days before, man. I agree with you 100%. I don't know if I yell and scream at them. I don't know if that's going to do anything at this point, though. I mean, you've got 2 days to go. I mean, I'll ask you the straight question. Did you call around other places?
Yes, and due to the eclipse that's coming across the center of the United States,
that's right.
For some reason they said our highways, rental cars, everything is just going to be completely slammed. And the coincidence of it is my girlfriend reserved it on the 27th or 24th of July.
I get you.
Moving dates. And, you know, she went ahead and did the intelligent thing, reserved it ahead of time.
Suzanne, do we have an angel at Enterprise?
Yeah.
Not that I know of, but I can check with DAF.
I don't think so. I mean, we'll check Philip.
Why did they deny his rental car?
Well, because they don't have it. I mean, they ran out of inventory. But he booked it on the 24th.
It a month ago. Wow, that's a pisser.
Let's give them a call over there. In fact, man, what branch is it?
It was the Westminster branch.
But they searched all their branches, right?
Yeah, they said...
Do they have one, but it's a bigger car and it costs more and you don't want it, or what?
No, that's not even the problem. We're taking 7 people, so we had their largest SUV vehicle, and there's nothing even comparable available, they said, at their location or any of the neighboring. And
I don't think I don't think anything's going to happen.
Mark, a caller just said the reason they're denying it is because of the eclipse.
Well, I know. That's what he just said.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're not denying it because of the eclipse. They sold out.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think they missed it. Either that, or they put it aside because there was another rent. They could have rented it for more as it got closer to the eclipse and said,
Tyler, we'll make a call, but I mean, you're leaving in 2 days, and if they simply don't have a van that big, I don't know what's going to happen. Real quick, Philip, you're an ex-felon. You're looking for a place to live?
Yeah, man. I mean, I need to get heard, man. This system is failing me bad.
Let's get this guy back on. He says his system's failing him. I mean, I don't know. I'd like to know what his felony is. I'd like to know his credit check and everything else. Maybe we can help the guy out. I have no idea. So let's get Philip's number. We'll have him back on the air tomorrow. Remember...
Hey, it's Brian with Advanced Mudjacking. Homes and businesses in the Denver area all experience sinking concrete.
Jesus, I didn't know that. Has it always been that way? Has it always been that way?